It's been a decade of dominance by the Oklahoma Sooners over the Baylor Bears. But this season, the Bears have claws and a chance to go bowling in December. Oklahoma has been bruised, knocked around a bit, but the Big Red Machine is dangerous. They're a tough team to beat at home, and the fans know how to keep that Sooner spirit up. Baylor travels to Norman in an important Big 12 conference showdown. Bowl bids for both teams hang in the balance. Next on FSN.
There'll be 84,000 strong tonight from Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. One of the great settings for college football. And from Owen Field in Norman, it's the Baylor Bears at 4-2, the Oklahoma Sooners at 3-3. Big 12 football presented by Kyocera. And good evening, everybody. Along with Gary Reasons, I'm Drew Goodman. Well, Baylor's 4-2. That's uncharted territory for them, at least over the last decade. Oklahoma 3-3. But consider this: the 3 losses for the Sooners to teams that are in the nation's top 25, a combined 18-1. How about bowl implications in this one?
Really, for both teams, I think bowls are very key for them, because if you get to 6 wins, that's the magic number. Baylor at 4 and Oklahoma at 3. They both got a little work to do, so this is a key ball game for both teams.
Yeah, the subplot for this one, the health of Adrian Peterson, runner-up to the Heisman Trophy a year ago. He's been gimpy with a high ankle sprain the last couple of weeks, and if he can't go, they have to really dig deep on the depth chart.
Well, Adrian Peterson didn't look well in warm-up, so it's going to rest on the shoulders of Jacob Gutierrez. A sophomore tailback hasn't had a lot of work this year, so Bob Stoops is going to him, and a couple other tailbacks aren't available to him tonight.
That's right. More on that in a little bit, but let's get an update on AD, as he is known here in Norman, with Jim Knox. Knoxy?
All right, Drew, it doesn't look like Adrian Peterson will go tonight. Here's the problem. During warm-ups, he was not good when he cuts to his left, because on the right ankle, that is hurting him a great deal. Now, he's fine cutting to the left. That's the good ankle. But during the warm-ups, he barely got through, guys. Doesn't look like AD will be ready to go tonight.
But, Knoxy, most importantly, you look very good. You're cutting right, you're cutting left, you're ready to go. The Baylor defense has been outstanding this year. Let's talk about their quarterback, Sean Bell. He does not make many mistakes.
Well, he's been very efficient for him, Drew, and that's the thing about him. Sean Bell, he's a junior quarterback. He runs the offense. Hey, he actually leads the conference in passing. He's first in passing efficiency. The young man is not making mistakes, and if he plays well tonight, they have a chance in this football game.
You bet they do. They've never knocked off the Oklahoma Sooners. Are 0-14. Maurice Lane, one of their safeties, ready to go, one of their all-time tacklers, and Rufus Alexander, another great linebacker in the Sooner tradition. When we return, we'll join Mike Goldberg, Billy Ray Smith, and DeMarco Farr in our College Football Saturday studio. You're watching Big 12 football presented by Kyocera. Over the last 5+ seasons, nobody better in college football than the Oklahoma Sooners, 70-15. Jim Knox with the head coach of the Baylor Bears, Guy Morris. Knoxy.
Coach, we were talking before the game. You told me the first team to 21 or 24 points will win this game. What's your thoughts behind that?
Well, I just think that's what it's going to take to get it done. Both defenses are playing really well right now, and I'm kind of thinking maybe a low-scoring game. Both offenses have struggled a little bit, haven't really lived up to their billing, so I think somewhere along 21, 22, 3 points along in there will get it done.
All right, we will see. Best of luck, Coach. Thanks for the time. Drew?
All right, you got to love Guy Morris. He is a straight shooter. Beautiful, beautiful fall evening for football. 71 degrees. It'll cool off some. Not much of a wind factor tonight, and not a cloud in the sky. More than 84,000 in the house at Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium in Norman. Oklahoma won the toss. They've deferred to the second half. And Oklahoma first met Baylor in 1901. Then they took a few years off, like 72. But
Baylor's never won this ball game.
No, the last time they were here, they lost 41-3. Willie Andrews is the man they'd like to see handle the football. Sean Rashan also back deep. And this thing lands a couple yards beyond the back line of the end zone. So Baylor will put it in play at their 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the Kyocera starters offensively. For the Baylor Bears, Sean Bell's a junior quarterback. His first career start came 2 years ago in Norman, Oklahoma, and he's grown up quite a bit since then.
He's grown up quite a bit. He does a good job with them. Hey, he's their all-time leading efficiency passer at Baylor. He needs to play well here. He needs to play well early in his ball game, particularly. Baylor has done exceptionally well this last 5 games, getting a score on their very first drive of the ball game.
5 consecutive games they've marched down the field, including a 14-play drive last week against Nebraska. They give it to Mosley, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he drives forward for a couple of yards. He was hit by the strong safety, or the free safety, Lewis Baker. Take a look at the big guys up front. Evan Stone, LaQuella McDonald, they've been there a while. Oskin's the backup center. We'll watch how he does today with a very formidable front for Oklahoma. Mosley's a big guy, about 230 pounds. Ziegler, they want to get the football to him, and Shelton and Rashawn. Those are guys that can make plays for you for Baylor. Call it 2nd and 7. Bell with time out of the gun. He throws it in the flat to Trent Shelton, and he'll get about 3 yards in front of DJ Wolf. Let's check the defenders for Oklahoma. They've allowed only one school, Texas, to rush for 100 yards against them. Thibodeau's done a nice job at one of the end spots. Alexander, very active. Ingram's had a big year, and Zach Latimer, a senior first-time starter. The secondary will be tested. A lot of youngsters. Reggie Smith is a true freshman at strong safety, and there's a load. Dusty Dvorak.
Dvorak's played exceptionally well for Oklahoma up front, and he's going to be working on that center who's inexperienced.
He gets doubled, and the pass complete for first down. Ziegler breaks a tackle, and he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So Baylor gets a first down.
They have talented receivers, Drew. That's something that they really do have. And I tell you, Dominique Ziegler, you get the ball in his hands. He's a big body. He's 6'3", 180 pounds, and he actually breaks the tackle here. Eric Bassey, number 6, that's Baker coming over trying to make that tackle and can't get him out of bounds. So Ziegler get a good little yardage after the catch there from Sean Bell.
Slot to the near side. Ziegler up top. Bell on a little sprint out, and it's complete again. Another first down. Trent Shelton. 21 catches coming in, and that's typical of Bell. He's going to throw a lot of safe passes.
Well, what offensive coordinator Brent Pease does is he scripts his plays here, and when he's going to get the ball to the outside, the ball's going to come out here to the very outside and take a good shot as we throw it out to him. Take a look at the run here, fellas. Trent Shelton, good job of running outside. Sean Rashawn underneath. Probably almost a little rub route there by those defensive backs from Oklahoma.
Flip side of the 50 for Baylor. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Oklahoma. And a whistle as they handed it to Mosley.
Prior to the snap, a false start by number 64 of the offense. Penalty's 5 yards, and it's still first down.
Our referee tonight, Cooper Castleberry, and you heard Gary allude to this a moment ago. Last 5 ball games, their opening drive, very impressive. And look what they did last week against Nebraska. 14-play drive that punched it in the end zone.
Yeah, you put points on the board early in the ball game. And I tell you, an 81-yard drive against Nebraska, Big 12 competition. That is something impressive for this football team. And we've got a couple of first down here against the Sooner defense.
Bell has to move, and he throws it out of bounds long for Sean Rashawn, the senior from Houston. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Well, you see a little of the ability of Sean Bell out of the pocket. Good arm speed, good arm strength, throwing the ball nicely up there. And Sean Rashawn, he's one of the big play receivers for Baylor. Does a good job getting behind the defense. Look for him to make big plays tonight in the passing game. And Sean Bell, when he gets hot, throwing the ball, intermediate passing and throwing it down the field, this Baylor offense is very capable.
That penalty put him a little off schedule. Empty backfield, 5 wideouts. Play clock down to 2. Oklahoma brings 4, underneath throw, ball's up in the air, and it's dropped. Man, Clint Ingram would have had his 4th interception of the year.
Yeah, Oklahoma
should have had it.
Yeah, Oklahoma had 3 interceptions last week in that ball game against Kansas, and that would have been a big one to stop this opening drive here by Baylor. The ball is actually tipped think he's trying to throw it to Dominique Ziegler on the inside, and Ingram on the outside just does not bring this in. To see the ball tipped and goes outside, that's when you got to catch, big fella.
Hey, 2 of their first 4 plays defensively last week against Kansas resulted in interceptions, including DJ Wolf going 65 yards for a touchdown. 3rd and 15 for Baylor. Mosley next to Bell. They need the 36-yard line. Quick throw to Ziegler, and he's wrapped up immediately. And Baylor will have to punt the football.
Well, I talk about this football team, Sean Bell and company for Baylor. You know, there's important things they have to do in this game. I think to continue to fast start. We showed the drives chart that they had. Got a pretty good drive. They've got a couple of first downs. I think defensively they need to make Oklahoma pass the football. Air Bomar, make him beat you, and they can't self-destruct. No penalties, no things like that. Turnovers in the game. When you come to Norman, you have to be error-free.
Fair catch at the 5-yard line by Juwan Rankins. That's generally territory you want to see go over your head and hopefully into the end zone. They'll mark it between the 6 and the 7. We also have a flag down.
Yeah, the near line judge here. It's going to be a false start here against the punt team.
They'll make them do it again, I would think.
Yeah, and I think the special teams coach needs to talk to the returner. Don't back up.
Formation on the offense. Their 44 was not on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is 5 yards and replay 4th down.
Yeah, Juwan Rankins is back there returning for the Sooners, and he starts at the 10-yard line. You see him talking to his team's coach here. Don't back up to the 5-yard line. The ball's going to bounce over your head. Let it go into the end zone. That's Cale Gundy, one of the assistant coaches here for Oklahoma.
They'll give Daniel Sepulveda another shot. The Ray Guy Award winner last year as a sophomore, the nation's top punter. Rankins, pretty coachable, but this is going to work out even better for Baylor. How about the 3-yard line?
Well, when you got Sepulveda, he's a weapon down your football team. He's not only one of the best punters in the country with legs being strength, but he's able to kind of get one short there too and make it stop on a down.
Well, there was some quarterback controversy early in the year, but it's now Rhett Bomar's job, the much heralded redshirt freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. He has thrown only 3 aerial touchdowns all year. Last week he hit a freshman, Malcolm Kelly, and that was the only offensive touchdown for the Sooners against KU last week.
Only 3 touchdown passes on the year. Rhett Bomar has to improve. He's got to be better. It's only 50% completions passing the football. They are actually last in the Big 12 Conference in passing, and I know Bob Stoops is not pleased about that.
He drops back 6 yards deep in his own end zone. There's contact down the football field. Rankins came together with Arlene initially, no flag. It'll be 2nd and 10, and Gutierrez did get the start at running back. There is Adrian Peterson. He continues to be dressed out, but I agree with you, Gary. He didn't look like he's going to go.
When he warmed up, he was not ready to go, and that was something he had to deal with here. As we take a look at our Kyocera starting lineups up front here, some changes all this whole season. Didn't know if we're going to see who would tackle there playing for the offense, and here's the offensive backs and receivers. Travis Wilson, he didn't warm up as well, so I'm not sure he's going to be available to Bob Stoops either tonight.
They give to Gutierrez. He makes one man miss, and he'll get it out to the 5-yard line before he was dumped by C.J. Wilson. So it'll be 3rd down and about 8 yards to go against a Baylor defense that has played very, very well. In fact, they've allowed 23 points or less in every ball game this year. N.T. Robinson's a very good defensive tackle. Active linebackers Jamal Harper and Allred, very good safeties in Lane and Willie Andrews. They've played a lot of football over the last few years for the Baylor Bears.
And the defense right now for Baylor is what's keeping them in football games. Bill Bradley, their defensive coordinator, we're giving some excellent schemes for these guys to work with.
And they brought a blitz, but a whistle. Allred was coming. They've been a false start against Oklahoma.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the offense. Number 3 lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is half the distance to the goal, and it's still 3rd down.
Take a look at the Oklahoma keys, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Gary, what have you drawn up?
Well, I think overall offensively they have to have consistency. Running the ball, passing the ball, primarily in the passing game, haven't been there. And on defense, I think their secondary must improve. They've got to get their hands on the ball. Only 8 pass breakups the entire season. Start fast, come out, have a little swagger. You're here at home. I think you need to do something early in this ball game and establish who's going to be on top if you're Oklahoma.
Throw it underneath, and Runnels is very close to a first down. J.D. Runnels on a little circle route out of the backfield.
Yeah, you call this an F-angle route. He comes outside and he angles back in underneath the linebackers. Rhett Bomar looks downfield and checks it down to J.D. Runnels, who's an excellent receiver out of the backfield. NFL scouts like him a lot because he's a square blocker and he does a good job catching the ball. He's only run the ball one time in his whole career here at Oklahoma. Not a running back that you give the ball a lot to, but certainly good in the passing game.
And he got just enough for a first down. That is an enormous first down for Oklahoma. They were back in the shadows of their own goalposts. Gutierrez, stutter stop, and maybe a couple of yards.
Well, let's talk about the tailback spot here at Oklahoma. You know, we talked about Adrian Peterson not being available tonight. Well, then you'd go to your number 2 and number 3. Well, you think that might be Kewan Jones, number 20. Well, he was suspended for this ball game by Bob Stoops. And then you have your number 2 tailback, Dante Hickson. He's out with a broken ankle. So it falls on the shoulders of a sophomore, Jacob Gutierrez. Don't know a lot about him. People haven't seen him. He's played a little bit in some games this year. 14 carries coming in on the night. But his shoulder's going to have a lot of weight on him here, I think, after this ball game.
Here's Runnels again with some room. A flag comes in. Runnels still going to the 35-yard line. Finally thrown down by Willie Andrews and Anthony Arline.
And Arline gets the final tackle on J.D. Runnels. We'll take a look at the flag here and see what happens. Going against the Sooners here. Going to be offensive interference, and this is going to negate this play.
You talked about a pick play earlier for Baylor, or close to a pick play. We may have seen one there.
Pass interference on number 12 of the offense. The penalty's half the distance to the goal, and replay second down.
Yeah, he found Paul Thompson coming out there, and Paul's was a starting quarterback this year, now moved to wide receiver. He's the starter. Take a look on the left side of your screen, and there's Paul Thompson right there in the middle of it. Gets his hands on him, and a pretty good block to me.
It must have happened before that. It had to have happened before that. Second down and 15. Bomar very comfortable out of the shotgun. And he's got it to Paul Thompson. 5th catch on the season for the converted quarterback. He started the opener for Oklahoma, and he remains the backup quarterback.
Well, if you're Rhett Bomar, what happens with you here on this play is you're just looking at a defensive lineman coming right at you. Watch number 92, Michael Gary, right to the middle of the screen. Nobody touches him, and I don't think that's what you want to have come at your quarterback early in the ball game. Obviously, kind of a break here on the offensive line here. They block out and they block down, and here's MT come right up the middle. Michael Gary come right up the middle. Doesn't contact the quarterback in a rough way. No roughing the passer call.
Bomar with time will have another first down. Juwan Rankins.
And he's been slowed by a high ankle sprain all season. Good to have Juwan Rankins back in the lineup for the Sooners because he gives them a threat down the field with his deep threat ability, catching the ball and runs after the catch, and also in the punt and return game, one of the best in the conference.
Senior from Windsor, North Carolina. So many freshmen playing for Oklahoma. When people who've not seen the Sooners this year and they wonder how they're 3-3, they lost 15 starters to graduation. 10 were NFL selections, including a couple of first-rounders. And in fact, Bubba Moses, the tight end, is the only Oklahoma Sooner on offense to start every ball game at the same spot this year.
Yeah, an offensive line here. I tell you, I didn't know what was going to happen. Davin Joseph injured his neck last week and left that ball game against Kansas and got to practice this week, and he's back in there. He's their best overall offensive lineman. They had to kick him out from the inside to play tackle this year. He's had little struggles out there, but he's held up pretty well.
2nd and 8 after Gutierrez gets about 2. He'll get another call here. And out to about the 35-yard line. That'll set up 3rd down and 4. Let's get a Dr. Pepper game break. We'll go to Mike Goldberg in Los Angeles. Mike?
Hey, Drew, number 9 UCLA. They're undefeated. They're hosting Oregon State, 7-0 Beavers. But how about Maurice Drew? DeMarco Farr loves him to win the Heisman. Maurice Drew. And we are tied at 7. So from 2-Live Drew to Drew Goodman in Norman.
All right, there you go, Mike. UCLA matched up earlier with Oklahoma. Good throw. I'll tell you what, it's incomplete, but Bomar hung in the face of pressure. Marcus Foreman, I mean, went face mask to face mask off the edge with Rhett Bomar. It's a tough kid.
Yeah, off the edge there. He's been hit a lot this season, and Rhett Bomar has taken his lumps and hasn't complained at all to his coaches about pressure or things up front, but Marcus Foreman does a good job here for the Bears defense of pressuring the quarterback and not allowing the timing that you need to throw this football. Takes a pretty good shot there. The ball's thrown low and outside. Juwan Rankins cannot pull the ball in, so going to be a defensive stop here for the Baylor Bears.
Cody Freeby will punt it. Willie Andrews, a very good return man, back around his own 20. He'll slide up to the 25, no fair catch. And wrestled down and out of bounds around the same spot by Alan Patrick. A punt of 40 yards. No score, 7:48 to go in the first quarter from Norman.
Yeah, a couple of opening drives here, Drew. Both football teams not getting a whole lot, but good job by Oklahoma coming off of their goal line, a little field position, and flipping the field with your punt game, and at least making Baylor have to work down the field.
And when you don't expect a lot of points, that can be huge. DJ Wolf throws Brandon Whitaker out of bounds. We'll see a lot of Whitaker, a sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma, and he goes to high school I think you're familiar with.
Well, Edmond Santa Fe High School up there in Edmond, and also on the defensive side for Oklahoma, number 1, Reggie Smith is from there. A couple of guys in this ball game from Edmond Santa Fe. Hey, good news for those guys. Their high school team, guess what? They're 8-0 on the season, leading the Class 6A here in the state of Oklahoma. It's a pretty good job by those guys.
How's their volleyball team?
Pretty good, too.
Yeah. Know anybody on their team?
Oh, yeah, a couple of guys.
2 Reasons girls. Underneath throw, and again it's complete. Trent Shelton will move the chains out to the 43-yard line.
You look at what offensively what Baylor does is they spread the field. They use a lot of formations. I talked about earlier where they script the plays and they come to the line of scrimmage. They practice these plays in practice, and they want to run them early in a ball game. And what they try to do, Brent Peace does, the offensive coordinator, is he says, hey, I want to give them a different look. I want the defense to kind of figure out what we're going to do, and we're going to find out what they're going to do in certain situations so we can game plan. So then you have a chance to take a look at it down the field as we take a look at Brent on the sideline.
Good protection, and Rufus Alexander had the underneath coverage on Rashawn. It'll be 2nd and 10. Well, we talked to Sean Bell yesterday, and we talked to him about his confidence level and how it's changed.
You know, it's a total change in confidence because we know every Saturday we're going to be in a ball game. We think that there's not a team in the Big 12 we can't compete with, and we've taken that mindset. You know, we've done that a couple times in previous years, but we're doing it every game this year, and we know every game we're going to is going to be a battle on their part, and we're coming to play.
And, you know, sometimes kids talk about confidence, and they talk about believing they can win. In the past, I'm sure they said the same things, but it's legitimate this year.
I think it is legitimate. They've got a little bit of swagger. They've won some ball games. They've won some close games. I think last year when you go back to the Texas A&M ball game, that they won that game at home. That was a huge confidence win for them. Then they go on the road this year and they win a Big 12 ball game against Iowa State. And they lost a game against Texas A&M this year down at College Station that they really feel like that they should have won that football game. So they very rarely, Guy Morris probably thinks that his team should be 5-1 right now.
Yeah, I love what he said to us the other day. We said, are you happy you're 4-2? You got to be pleased you're 4-2. He said, absolutely not. We believe we should be 5-1. He's hacked off about that loss still. Third down and 7. Bell throwing, and Rashawn cannot pull it in. And a trend is developing. They're picking on DJ Wolf.
Well, DJ Wolf is one of the guys in the Oklahoma defense who will actually go and make a play on the football. He's the only one that has any pass breakup, so to speak. So when when you take a look at what he's doing out there, had an interception last week. This ball just led inside. Sean Rashawn was actually behind DJ Wolf. Could have been a big play for Baylor, but it brings up a 4th down. And take another look at Daniel Sepulveda.
DJ Wolf, converted running back last year. He rushed for over 100 yards in a backup role. Sepulveda will get this one inside the 20 again, and it'll die about the 12-yard line. So Oklahoma backed up once again. A battle of field position thus far. Not a large surprise. 6:12 to go opening quarter. Baylor and Oklahoma from Norman. Back in a moment. No score, first quarter with Gary Reasons. I'm Drew Goodman. Let's check in again with Jim Knox.
All right, Drew, you and Gary were talking about ankle injuries. Of course, Adrian Peterson out with the ankle injury. Also, Dante Hickson out with an ankle injury. And Travis Wilson, their top wide receiver, out for his 2nd game with an ankle injury. I talked to him before the game. He said it's an inner ankle injury. He said, though, he is sitting out just this game, and he'll be back next week against Nebraska, guys.
Play action, and Joe John Finley pulls it in. Long, tall tight end, 6'6" sophomore from Arlington, Texas, with his 11th reception on the season.
Yeah, believe it or not, with 11 catches. He's the number 2 receiver on this football team. It just shows you how inefficient Oklahoma's been throwing the football. But this is a good job of play action. Get it to your tight end on the sideline here and make a nice play on 1st down.
Alan Patrick, the 5th-team running back, takes the football. And he lowers his pad level and gets about 4. That's the most productive run of the ball game for the University of Oklahoma. Colin Alrett will get up last, senior backer from Dallas. Patrick, the sophomore from Conway, South Carolina, transfer from the Jayhawk League. He played at Independence Community College.
Yeah, and I saw Davin Joseph come off the field after that play. Don't know what's ailing him, but he's not in the lineup.
And the Sooners burned their first time out. We'll step aside as well. Oklahoma looking at a 2nd and 5 from their own 30 when we come back to Norman. That's coming up tonight only on FSN.
Yeah, Oklahoma had to take a timeout there. Didn't get the 11th man on the field. Brett Rail now in the ball game, replacing Davin Joseph at left tackle.
Boy, Patrick ripped by Montez Murphy shortly after he hit the line of scrimmage. Let's get another Dr. Pepper game break again. Mike Goldberg.
Hey guys, lots more Vinsanity today in Austin, Texas. Vince Young, the Heisman hopeful, nearly 300 yards of total offense, 3 touchdowns. 2 of those to this man, Billy Pittman. 52-17, Texas beats Texas Tech. The Red Raiders no longer undefeated.
Yeah, Texas right now looks like they're on a collision. C.J. Wilson, he'll cut it back inside the 10, spilled at the 7-yard line. Baylor with the first turnover of the football game. C.J. Wilson, the junior from Terrell, Texas, with his 3rd interception and a return of 37 yards.
Well, C.J. Wilson has coverage on Paul Thompson on the outside and does a pretty good job of timing this here. I think Paul Thompson may have slipped and not seen the football. Take a look at the top of your screen. You're going to have Wilson come out here, or excuse me, Paul Thompson come out on C.J. Wilson, and Rhett Bomar throws it outside, and little contact there, and the ball continues past, and Thompson goes to the ground. Good job by C.J. of running it down the field. Gets a block by Maurice Lane to help him get towards that end zone, and sets Baylor up with great field position now at the 5-yard line.
6th interception thrown by Bomar this year. Bell comes out in the shotgun, hands it to Whitaker on a zone read, and he'll drive forward inside the 3-yard line. Clint Ingram made the tackle, number 44.
Well, if you come into Norman, Oklahoma, and you want to win a football game, you've got to take care of business if you have a turnover like this. And in the red zone, Baylor has been pretty efficient. There are 18 scores and 27 opportunities. You need to improve that. That's not very good in the Big 12. And OU defensively, they've done a pretty good job, 88.9%.
3 tight ends in the game. Hand it to Mosley. He's the bigger of the 2 backs. He goes about 230. Whitaker's about 195. Not much doing there. It'll be 3rd and goal Getting up last was C.J. Ayu, a junior from Highland, Utah.
You know, Drew, when we talked to the coaches for Baylor, they talked about opportunities. And you got to create opportunities, and that's exactly what a turnover is in this ball game. You're in a hostile environment. You come here. Nobody expects that you're going to win this ball game, at least nobody of recent memory, because Baylor has not been a quality football team. But you come in here with a little bit of swagger and you make a turnover and put points on the board. That's very meaningful, and it's a great start for the football team if you can convert.
Yeah, but you'd love to get 6 if you're Baylor. End zone shot, touchdown. Jason Smith, the redshirt freshman. 270-pound tight end, and Baylor breaks on top. They do get 6 off the interception from Rhett Bomart.
Well, this is exactly what you like to have. Points after a turnover and get the touchdown. It's just a play-action pass here. Faking to Mosley inside, and the big tight end gets behind the linebacker, I think Clint Ingram there on that side, and good job by Baylor of converting that for the score.
And Gary, how about the touch throw? He had to get it over the linebacker level and drop it in.
Yeah, right over Ingram, and good job by Baylor, putting points up there.
Havens misses the extra point. That's the first time that's happened this year. So Havens pulls the extra point, and it's 6-0 Baylor. Let's take a look again at the touchdown throw from Sean Bell.
Jason Smith on the right side there, and he works back to the back part of the end zone, has to throw it over the defensive back, and good job of good touch there by Sean Bell.
That's a big target now. Jason Smith, a redshirt freshman who has eaten well through his first 18 years, 6'5", 270, and Baylor gets in the end zone. The only downer again is that they missed that extra point. Check in with Jim Knox.
About earlier about the swagger of the Baylor Bears, talking to Guy Morris before the game, he said, you know, usually they'd walk in the stadium and they see, oh, Oklahoma, national championship, and they would be defeated before the game even started, but not this year because they have a few wins coming in under the belt. They're a confident team, and especially when they score the touchdown right now, the swagger on the bench is in high gear right now, guys.
You know, and something further to that, Jim, I think that what they have is they've got a coaching staff that is very much NFL laden. Guy Morris with his experience, and a lot of his assistants have NFL experience, and so when they go out and recruit young men and they develop a football team, they want to do with NFL guys, and Guy Morris has assembled staff with that type of experience. And when you get into a meeting room or in a huddle with players and you have that NFL experience behind you, those guys listen, and they are responding now in year 3 to Guy Morris.
A lot of ties to the Philadelphia Eagles, naturally, where Guy Morris spent most of his NFL career as a center. Finished up in New England last few years. Smith from the goal line, drops it, picks it up, and he's got an opening. Out to the 34-yard line. Is it on the ground?
No, I think the line judge on the far side is going to call him down, so it's going to be Oklahoma ball. Reggie Smith with a good return. They're out over the 30-yard line, almost to the 35-yard line.
He's an exciting player, Reggie Smith, one of those true freshmen playing. He's from Santa Fe High in Edmond.
Yeah, let's take a look at here at the end of the tackle here. You got Maurice Lane, number 21, there on top of the pile, and didn't see the ball come out there, so probably a good call by the official. The ball did not come out.
Yeah, he was down, clearly. 6-0 Baylor. Best field position for Oklahoma. Double move on the outside, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Malcolm Kelly. Anthony Arline had the coverage.
Yeah, a couple of big plays to Malcolm Kelly last week. They want to go to this big freshman, 6'4", 205-pounder. He's got speed to get out there, and little pump fake here. Watch Rhett Bomart. He's going to pump a little fake right there. Try to get the cornerback to set down, but cornerback Arline runs right underneath him, and that's a great throw by Bomart, just not pulled in by Malcolm Kelly. Pretty good touch in that football.
Alan Patrick in the backfield. He flares out, and this throw is complete. Flip side of the 50 to the 42-yard line, Manuel Johnson. He's a true freshman, his 3rd catch this year.
Well, we talked about efficiency and trying to be consistent offensively. If you get your passing game going for Oklahoma, that's what they really like to do, and bring it down the field and get yardage after the catch. Something Oklahoma has not had a lot of this year. Bob Stoops would like to see more of it.
Out of the eye, the toss. Patrick gets downhill for a few. 7 or 8. Finally grabbed around the ankles. And dropped. Colin Allred was around the football again.
Taking a look at Alan Patrick there. What he brings is a little bit of speed in the backfield. A converted defensive back earlier this season to play some running back here for Oklahoma. And never know where you're going to shake out in the depth chart. And tonight he's number 5, but because of the injuries to a couple of running backs and the one suspension, he's in the ball game.
He gets it again, then he stood up in the hole. That's Allred. He's close to a first down on forward progress.
Well, Colin Allred is a solid linebacker inside. He keys very well and he gets off the block very well, and he did a good job that time just waiting for Allen to get open in the hole there. And take a look at the numbers for him on the season. He's a senior. He's a leader out there for that football team for Baylor.
Very good student. He's a history major, Allred. 3rd down, less than a yard for Oklahoma. Patrick behind Runnels in the eye. And Patrick tripped up, but should have enough for a first down. C.J. Wilson came off the edge, got in the backfield.
Yeah, going off the left side there, Davin Joseph back in the ballgame, number 77. He was on the sideline, and he does a good job of turning his defensive end to the inside. Take a look at Davin Joseph. Get up here and turn him to the inside, which is going to allow him to win this corner. Don't need a lot here. You see Finley coming around. You see Davin Joseph turn his defensive end, and good job by Pat Allen there, continuing. And somebody had his legs, but he gets enough for the first down.
Pretty good block. Had to step outside, reach, and turn him. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Baylor up 6-0. First down for the Sooners. They'll go play action. Bomar down the field, and it's incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10. James Todd had the coverage. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O.
Yeah, Sooner fans a little upset on that play. Contact down the field. The receiver fell down. Back judge back there did not throw the penalty flag, though.
Johnson to the top. Kelly to the near side. Runnels in motion. They have a screen set up to Gutierrez, and he drops the football.
Yeah, we talked about Baylor and the defensive looks there that Bill Bradley, the defensive coordinator, is going to give. He's going to roll some people in and out of the ball game, but primarily they'll blitz quite a bit. That time they only rush 4. Good job of laying off and being able to take care of the screen. Gutierrez needs to bring that ball in, though.
Yeah, last time Oklahoma played Baylor, 35-0 down in Waco in favor of the Sooners, but a number of blitz packages sent their way, and that was with a veteran quarterback, Jason White. They show blitz, they bring 5, and that is complete. Nice catch by Kelly, right near the first down marker in front of James Todd. You said it a moment ago, this kid presents a big target, 6'4" and 205 pounds. A true freshman from Longview, Texas.
Well, they knew they had some good receivers here, young guys. They just got to get them in the game and get them experience. And Brett Bomar, he's young himself, a redshirt freshman, but you can start developing a little chemistry with some talented receivers like that and a talented quarterback. I tell you, you can see some bright things here for the offense as time goes on, but it just takes time to develop that. And we'll take a look at whether it's going to be a first down or not.
It's something else. Not only did they lose 15 starters, 10 to the NFL, but keep in mind, if you're a Sooner fan and you're in panic mode, you lose 15 starters, guys who didn't just start for 1 year, guys who started for 2 and 3 years. Therefore, some of the older players for Oklahoma, a guy like Zach Latimer playing defensively, He's a first-time starter as a senior, so they don't have a lot of experience even among their upperclassmen.
And I think Bob Stoops kind of addressed that a little bit this year. You know, he didn't have a chance to play some of those guys because they're looking to win championships, and you know, you want to put your best players out there. But I think they see that right now that they do not have the game experience in some of their underclassmen that are now being able to play.
Gutierrez keeps his legs driving inside the 15-yard line. Todd held on. But a decent gain on the ground on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 4, and that will be the final snap of the first quarter. Oklahoma on the move. Baylor has the lead 6-0. 6-0 Baylor Bears in Norman. You're watching College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera on FSN. College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera. Gorgeous evening in Norman, Oklahoma. 2nd and 4 for the Sooners. They keep it on the ground and they move the pile close to the sticks. So Oklahoma playing tonight without Adrian Peterson. And just to recap, Jacob Gutierrez, who's carried the last couple of times, is the 4th team tailback. Kewan Jones has been suspended for tonight's game. Dante Hickson has an ankle injury suffered in practice this week. He's unavailable. Adrian Peterson came out of the locker room, went through warm-ups, but he's somewhat noticeably gimpy. So they're down to their 4th and 5th team tailbacks. Alan Patrick's had a couple of quality runs.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's moving the football in the first quarter. 115 yards of total offense on 22 plays. I would say that's probably pretty good for them. Good fast start. No points on the board yet, but right now knocking on the door here against Baylor.
Now this is where Baylor's been good. They've held opponents to 3 points plenty of times in the red zone this year. 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. Throw it in the flat to Runnels, and Allred will knock him out at the 6-yard line.
Well, that's tough to get squared up if you're a running back. You come out of the backfield and you catch the ball on the sideline, and you're right there. You're about to step from the sideline. Then you're trying to right yourself to get going north and south towards the end zone. J.D. Runnels, one of the best backs coming out of the backfield, catching the football. He's got a couple of grabs already tonight.
I was going to say, if this was Canada, he probably would have scored.
A little wider field.
A little wider, yeah. He got 4. Bomar will send Runnels in motion. Gutierrez on the zone read, gets wide. Gutierrez to the end zone. Touchdown. Jacob Gutierrez gets the Sooners even with Baylor. The sophomore from San Antone.
Well, it may be a little different running style here, going all the way to the outside. Maybe not Adrian Peterson-esque, who'd like to take it north and south, but Gutierrez showing good speed there, finding that pylon just inside the pylon for the score.
Now, if you asked this kid, Gary, on Tuesday, when he put the pads on for practice, if he thought he'd play on Saturday, if he gave you an honest answer, it'd probably be no. Well, I wonder how many snaps he got in practice this week.
He probably got some snaps, but probably didn't know what it was going to be about. That's a pretty good job of getting it in the end zone. I don't know if he stepped out of bounds or not, but you know, in warm-ups tonight, we were watching him warm up, and we saw a coach go over and talk to him, and it's kind of like a shock on his face that you know, he's probably going to be playing in this ball game because Adrian, they saw him warm up and didn't look like he was 100%.
They're going to try to see if Gutierrez, that's what they're checking, if he broke the plane of the goal line or not.
The play stands as called. Touchdown.
Yeah, you can see it from that angle. His feet did not get to the sideline, and the ball was definitely inside the pylon. Good job by Gutierrez, and nice turnaround here and a good drive here by Oklahoma.
Only about a third of plays reviewed this year in the Big 12 have been overturned.
And now the chance to actually get ahead in this ball game. 2 touchdowns scored, but remember, Baylor missed that extra point.
Garrett Hartley, good snap, good hold, and he gives Oklahoma a 7-6 lead. And I know if you're Guy Morris, you always worry about extra points taken off the board if you miss a field goal. Tell you what, extra points when you expect a close, low-scoring game as Guy Morris does. You hope it doesn't come back to haunt Baylor.
Ultimate Flair.
You're watching FSN Southwest.
Oklahoma 12-play, 66-yard drive to take a 1-point advantage of Baylor. Early second quarter. Let's go down to Jim Knox, who has a guy that's a frequent visitor here to Norman.
Yeah, that's right. Big-time country western music recording star. This is Toby Keith. You're also a big-time Oklahoma Sooner fan. You live right here in Norman, right?
Yeah, I have a ranch here pretty close. When I'm not working, I stay here at it, yeah.
Now, you played football back in your good old days. Where'd you play and what position?
I played defensive end for a team here in Oklahoma City years ago called Oklahoma City Drillers when we were trying to all get in the United States Football League.
Now, right now you're on a movie shoot?
I'm on a movie shoot in Atlanta, a movie called Broken Bridges with Kelly Preston and Burt Reynolds.
Last time we were here, you took off at halftime for a performance in Dallas. You taking off anywhere tonight?
No, I'm going to stay here tonight. I got a coach.
Maybe a concert after the game for some of the broadcasting team, huh?
Be at my ranch. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. We got it lined up. Good gig tonight, guys. Appreciate it, Toby.
Knoxy, you get the directions. Andrews from the 8, trying to get to the wall. He has an opening now. Andrews, some open field, and a flag comes in. That'll bring this thing back. He was out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Oklahoma, but there's a yellow handkerchief down at the 30.
I think Baylor's going to get called for a holding penalty here. Going to have 2 players on this side of the field who actually blocked one of the Oklahoma defenders, and that's going to bring this ball back. Boy, what a great job by Baylor setting that up and getting it around the corner here for Andrews. But that play is going to be negated by this holding penalty.
Holding on the return team. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and it's first down.
Well, Andrews comes up with a good return. Watch on the left side of your screen up here. You're going to have 2 players blocking an Oklahoma to kick coverage person. And that's going to be the hold. The back judge throws the flag right here on that hold. It's going to bring this return back. That looks like a pretty good block to me.
So Baylor now from their own 20. They lost 35 yards of field. Out of the reach is Sean Rashan. Let's take another Dr. Pepper game break. We check in again with Mike Goldberg. Mike.
Hey, Drew, number 14, Penn State trying to rebound from their loss to Michigan and the loss to the freshman Derek Williams. So Michael Robinson says, I'm the quarterback. I'll take it in my hands. Throw it to a couple other guys. 4 touchdowns already for Michael Robinson. That one to Deion Butler. It is 28-3 Penn State.
Tell you what, so good to see Jopa and Penn State back among the college football elite. 2nd and 10 for Baylor. And double coverage on Ziegler down the football field. Kind of ran up the hash marks. It'll be 3rd and 10.
You think that's an important play in the kick game here? It certainly is. Baylor was going to have great position, but it came back because of penalty. And actually, I think this winds up actually being a good call. When we take another look at it here, look at the bottom of your screen. You can have Jamal Harper with a little jersey right there. That's what they're calling. So the back judge you saw that throws the flag in, that is actually a pretty good call when you stretch that out. But now we've got a 3rd down here for Baylor offensively. They've got to get something going here. Good job by OU defensively here on this turn of events.
Trips to the top, they empty the backfield. Oklahoma brings heat, and crossing route underneath. A misconnection with Trey Payne. And Baylor will have to pump the football. It's 3 and out.
Well, Sean Bell did not want to have any part of Clint Ingram, who was coming off the outside on a blitz there. Change up there by the Oklahoma defense. Good job of putting pressure on him. A lot of coaches like to do that on 3rd down and long. Go ahead and pressure that quarterback, make him get rid of that football early before he would like to, and it works well for Oklahoma.
Now Daniel Sepulveda owns 58 punts, as he'll get another opportunity. 58 punts of 50 yards or more in his career as a Baylor punter. And now would be high time for one of those 50-plus jobs.
Dead ball foul, an illegal snap on number 62 of the offense. The penalty is 5 yards, and it's still 4th down.
Well, he either picked the ball up and kind of does a little, gets it up and going, or he might have bobbed his head. That's a couple things that centers do that get that call.
Jonathan Weeks is the long snapper.
Designated snappers for both these teams.
And Sepulveda hits it pretty well. Rankins back to his own 28. Nice move by Rankins. And he stepped out of bounds at the 36-yard line. A punt of 56 yards. 7-6 OU. Your online outlet, it's all about the O. With Gary Reason somewhere up there. And Jim Knox down on the field. I'm Drew Goodman. 7-6 Oklahoma. Early stages, 2nd quarter. And it's complete to Alan Patrick out of the backfield. So starting to get a rhythm now is Rhett Bomar. The tackle by Jamal Harper.
I think Rhett Bomar's thrown the ball pretty well tonight. He's delivered the ball down the field and also to his intermediate passing. So Rhett looks like he's pretty sharp throwing the football. Gets a good 1st down there on this drive.
One of the things that's interesting about this quarterback matchup, and it's not unusual, both Sean Bell and Rhett Bomar played for their dads in high school. Bomar play action. He's got a post route, and it is complete to the 20-yard line. Hauling in the football, Manuel Johnson.
Manuel Johnson goes up the seam and does a good job of getting open here. Rhett Bomar, play action fake in the backfield and does a nice job delivering the ball. Probably could have thrown it a little bit further, let Manuel run under it, but nonetheless a good positive play here. Throw it right down the middle of the field. You've got some space. You see Johnson slow down, come down for the football, and good job of hanging on to it after it because he got a lot of bears trying to pull that football out. One of the longer passing plays of the season for Oklahoma.
Gain of 33 yards. Gutierrez on the zone read. And Allred rides him down after a yard gain.
See how Rhett Bomar has struggled. 142 yards a game. That's 106 in the nation, and tonight already 131 yards. So talk about him being sharp and certainly putting up some decent numbers.
Tell you what's amazing. Even when you consider how many young players Oklahoma's playing this year. 11th in total offense in the Big 12. It's just shocking to see him down there. Here's Johnson in space. And he is wrapped up around the 14-yard line. First to get there was Maurice Lane.
Well, lucky to have any kind of play at all. Rhett Bomar takes a lot of heat on this play. You got a couple of players blitzing from the near sideline, which is actually where he's trying to come to with this quick pass, and does a good job of getting rid of it. Maurice Lane going off the field. Take a look at Manuel Johnson coming around here and going to bump and go outside, catch his football. Good job by Bomar getting it out there to him. And Maurice Lane here comes off the field. See somebody roll up on the back of his legs there at the end of the play.
For him to come out, he's got to be hurting a little bit. Dwayne Crawford, 32, right in the football game for him. 3rd down for Oklahoma. They need 5. And Rhett Bomar will call timeout.
2nd timeout.
7-6 Oklahoma. 11:32 to go in the 2nd quarter from Norman. Back to Owen Field in a moment.
Marco Fart, Billy Ray Smith, getting set for the College Football Saturday halftime report.
And I'll tell you which fans can start booking their trip to the Rose Bowl. I'll introduce you to the new 11 members of the Reggie Bush Made Me Look Stupid Club.
You just threw the ball at him. Nice catch, linebacker. Right back at you. We're coming back a little bit later. Drew, back to you.
All right, guys, look forward to that. 7-6 right now. Oklahoma, 3rd and 5. They have to get it inside the 10-yard line. Red will try to do it himself. The lunge. And you know what? With that lead, he came very close. You heard of the long jump. How about the taking the whole body and trying to lunge it about 3 yards in the air?
I don't know if this is a quarterback draw or not, or Red Bomar takes it. Colin Allred, they're trying to knock him out of bounds. Good job of stopping his feet and getting the momentum. It's a tough spot. Just going to be a judgment call on the officials where they put that, and looks like they're calling the chains over to measure it here.
He got a very good spot. He got a real good spot. Red Bomar is a very tough kid. In fact, Bob Stoops has had to talk to him a little bit. Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator, about getting down, because there are times this year on the sideline, instead of stepping out of bounds, he'll lower his pad level, and he got the first down.
And he got the first down on that play. That's a good job by the quarterback coming around the corner. I thought it was actually trying to be a pass to the fullback, but he pulled it down. Looks like he didn't have it. Take a look at Chuck Long upstairs. Didn't get a lot of blocking here. Colin Allred just taking another look at it here. Good job by stopping his momentum and continuing, just taking that ball down. And like you said, Drew, he might have gotten a pretty good spot there.
He got a real good spot. Oklahoma will take it 1st and goal, just inside the 10-yard line. Sooners leading 7-6.
Well, the run game is pretty much back with the quarterbacks here at Oklahoma. Jason White under center. Wasn't a whole lot of run game going from that spot.
Gutierrez cuts back to the 3. You know what, Gutierrez, I thought, first couple carries, a little tentative. Since that time, he's hit it up in the hole nicely.
Well, Gutierrez has pretty good pace here. Take a look at Davin Joseph again, number 77, just pushing Marcus Foreman right off the line of scrimmage here. Excuse me, it's Montez Murphy he's got, and Gutierrez just covers him up, and that's what you call a pancake, folks.
I was going to say, that's a good old-fashioned pancake. Joseph, 6'3", 312-pound senior from Hallandale, Florida. 2nd and goal from the 3. Patrick in as the I-back. He gets the call, and Patrick crossed the goal. Nope, his knee was down. Ball came out, but they're going to mark him down.
I think it's a good call by the line judge. His knee did touch the ground, and then he kind of popped over the end zone.
Trying to establish 3rd down.
Yeah, trying to establish the running game, put some power against this Baylor defense. Different types of running backs here. Gutierrez and now Allen. They look on the where his right knee right there. Good spot by the officials, and definitely not a touchdown.
Runnels and Patrick on 3rd and goal. Here's a naked, and Red Bomar can walk in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Great call.
Yeah, that's pretty good play calling by Chuck Long and the offensive staff. Go ahead and bang it up inside. Hey, you try to run up in there a couple of times with some success, move the ball a little bit. Nothing wrong with taking a speedy quarterback around the edge, and Rhett Bomar does a nice job of it here. Good play fake inside, and watch the white jerseys all there, and Rhett goes right to the house on the corner. Good job by him in this offense for Oklahoma.
3rd rushing touchdown this year for Rhett Bomar. First drive, 66 yards in 12 plays. This drive, 65 yards in 8 plays. Oklahoma started to get some rhythm as the extra point is tacked on, 14-6. They started to get some rhythm in the 4th quarter against Kansas last week, and it looks like they have early rhythm after struggling last week in the first half.
Yeah, I talked about getting some consistency offensively. Looks like they're establishing that. The running game, the passing game. Rhett Bomar is sharp, passing the ball very well. Receivers are making plays.
Well, we flash back last year in Waco. It was the Adrian Peterson story, really all year. It was the Adrian Peterson story. How about 240 yards rushing last year against Baylor? And 3 touchdowns for AD. But he is not available tonight, so they've done it a little bit by committee.
Well, you think he's not happy about not playing this game when you put 240 up on the board, running the football, and Adrian being held on the sideline again because of the high ankle sprain, not ready to go, and looks like he's getting good production from his teammates out there. But you know, Adrian Peterson this year, you can take a look at just the numbers here, and really hasn't been what he had a year ago. Let's take a look at what he's done in 2004, 2005. Just tremendous output in 2004, and this year, not anything near it. You know, just 398 net yards, and this is to date. This is what had been through this ball game. So Adrian Peterson, not what he had. And remember, the offensive line has changed. The passing game is not there. If you put it all on the running back, you're not going to be able to get the accomplishment, the output that you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to game plan this year, at the start of the year, playing Oklahoma, you're focused on 28.
Yeah, you put 12 guys in the line of scrimmage if you can. Stop Adrian Peterson.
You allowed to do that?
Well, some guys try to do it. I don't know if you're allowed to.
Canada again, right? You got to go north of the border. Rashawn from the 1-yard line. And he does well to get to the 20-yard line. So Baylor had the momentum through the first quarter. Oklahoma's taken it back. Next week, college football returns when the 9th-ranked UCLA Bruins look to keep pace atop the Pac-10 standings as they take on the Stanford Cardinal. Coverage begins with our kickoff show next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. out west, only on FSN.
Interesting on that kickoff there, Drew. Jacob Gutierrez, guess what? Your starting tailback in this game, right in the middle of the kickoff team. Still letting him go on that. That's pretty amazing.
They didn't take away his special teams duties.
Well, that's his day job. I mean, he's moonlighting now as a running back.
There you go. They go on the ground, no gain. That's Mosley. And it is tough to run against Oklahoma. He ran into Lewis Baker, who will hit you. That free safety's big kid, 6'3", 205. Sophomore from Carrollton, Texas.
Well, the Oklahoma defense, they've done a pretty good job on the ground this year. Just allowing 79 yards a game on the ground, so tough to get going anywhere on them. Take a look at this action inside.
Second and 10 for Baylor. Bell, slip screen, Ziegler gets through into the secondary. And Ziegler moves it above the 39-yard line. First down for the Baylor Bears. That
Drew, you're going to like
design.
this. This is a great design. This is a double screen. You're going to pump it out to the wide side, and you're going to set up a screen to go this way here, but it actually comes back inside and comes around. Good job here. Watch the effort by the Baylor Bears on this one. The pump fake outside to Sean Bell, the tailback. The Sooners look that way, and Ziegler takes it inside, gets behind his big offensive lineman, and then takes it around the corner. That's a very nice play design, and the execution was just as good.
Ziegler, a junior from Killeen. Brent Pease was telling us earlier this week, we got to make plays offensively, and that means we got to get the ball to the guys who can make plays, and Ziegler is certainly one of them. Over the head of Trent Shelton. He was covered by Lewis Baker. It'll be 2nd and 10. Yeah, the only team to have success running the football this year against the Sooners was Texas. They're the only team to go over 100 yards rushing against Oklahoma. That's not a big surprise.
Not a big surprise. They're playing pretty well right now with big ball game today and defeating Texas Tech, so they're undefeated. Brett Venables has done a great job with his defense year in and year out, and he gets these guys ready to play, and he's got a good group out there, and they're solidifying. They've had some trouble. The defensive linemen had some injuries, some guys not available to them, but they have done the most with what they've had.
Did he catch that football? Over his head.
I don't believe he caught it, but Baker's came in and he decided, okay, no matter what you're going to do, I'm going to come in and give you a pretty good shot.
Yeah, Baker last week had a blow-up shot against Kansas. I mean, this kid will blow you a kiss now.
Well, right there on the sideline, good hit right there in his shoulder pads, right below his shoulder pads. And Baker got the start in his ball game again at safety, and it started earlier. Nick Harris had come in to start as well, but got the start tonight and playing pretty well.
3rd and 10. Rufus Alexander, one of the leaders defensively for Oklahoma, trying to incite the crowd. And Sean Bell will call timeout. 8:45 to go before halftime in Norman. The Sooners 14, the Baylor Bears 6. Back in Norman, 14-6 Sooners. Elsewhere around the Big 12 this afternoon, Missouri over Nebraska. Iowa State big over the Cowboys. Texas A&M goes to Manhattan and wins by a couple. Battle of unbeatens, Texas, no contest with Texas Tech. And Colorado in the second quarter, 10 up on the Jayhawks in Boulder.
Yeah, Colorado trying to hold serve with Missouri to take the lead in the Big 12 North.
Third and 10. Pressure, ball's on the ground. Oklahoma football at the 35 of Baylor. C.J. Ayu got in there.
C.J. takes a long path to get there, but when he gets there, he hangs on to Sean Bell, and he actually pulls this ball out, causes a fumble, and turns it over for his football team. Sean Bell steps up in the pocket, but there's nowhere to go. And take a look at C.J. on the top side of your screen. He's going to come around the back side of Sean Bell and get in there. The ball pops out, and his teammates jump on top of it. Big turnover here. Take a look at C.J. on the right side. Number 99 going to come into your picture with the right hand, grabs his right arm, and the ball knocks it loose. Good picture, guys. Good look at that. And the defense jumps on top of it.
Yeah, Remy Iodell came up with it. So Oklahoma with a short field, ahead 14-6. Down the field, contact, and there's the flag.
Yeah,
our line got tangled up with Juwan Rankins on a deep post. It'll be interference against Anthony Arline.
Yeah, it's play action pass, and one-on-one on the outside with Arline and Juwan Rankins, and their feet get tangled up, and the official throws a flag. Going against the Baylor Bear defense. Red Bomar had all the time to throw.
That's interference on number 6 of the defense. The penalty is 15 yards, and it's a first down.
Arline's a junior, pretty good coverage, man, but watch on the right side here. These are the two we're going to look at. The contact there goes to the ground, and here's your back judge going to throw the flag right on that, so good view of the contact.
Guy Morris does not mind when his secondary, he doesn't want interference penalties, but he wants aggressive corners.
Yeah, you want to be competitive on the ball, and they've done a decent job that most of the year with both their corners. Arline and Wilson done a good job.
Zone read, Bomar keeps it, look out. Ball's loose now, and Oklahoma has the football. Bomar thought he had a big opening, and then he ran into M.T. Robinson, and that was the end of that.
Well, MT's pretty good size fellow, 305-pounder. They're a defensive tackle. I talked about these two guys inside, Michael Gary and M.T. Robinson for Baylor here inside, and they do a good job at the point of attack and just kind of reading their keys and playing off the block. That's what MT does there, and comes back, sees Bomar trying to go back door on this zone read and not getting anything going there. Montez Murphy overruns the play.
And Murphy's the one who knocked the ball out. 2nd and 8. Tell you what, Red's still trying to get his shoulder pads back on.
Penalty is 5 yards.
The straps came undone.
Watch the right side of the line here as they kind of pick up there. Big Bubba Moses there on the outside.
It'll be 2nd and 12 for Oklahoma. Two for 2 in the red zone tonight. Patrick swings out of the backfield, underneath throw to Joe John Finley.
And flags come in at the end of the play after that.
It's in the secondary, away from the football. I wonder if it's one of those altercations between a receiver and a DB. Get to be close friends by the end of an evening.
You know, when you get officials out there and they get these little huddles and they fold their arms, they put their hands on their chin, and just kind of body language, you know, a little casual conversation, but it's meaningful stuff. So yeah, they're just got the hands on the chin and just taking it easy, hands on the hips.
This is what I saw. What'd you see? How's the family? Mix that in.
We need some FaceTime, guys. Just take our time
After
here.
the play, a dead ball, personal foul on number 15 of the defense. And a dead ball, personal foul on number 11 of the offense. The penalty's offset. It's third down.
Lendy Holmes for Oklahoma and Maurice Linguist got together there. No harm done.
Yeah, probably just wrapped up a little pushing and shoving out there, and the official probably heard something going on over there and just throws the flag, and not hurting either team in that situation. Brings up a third down here.
3rd and 10 from the 20. Bomar's hit his last 5 passes. Gutierrez steps into the backfield. Baylor brings 4 and a minimal gain to the 15-yard line as they throw it to J.D. Runnels. Runnels' 3rd catch of the ball game.
Well, good efficient drive by Rhett Bomar, bringing his football team down here inside the red area, and it's okay. Put your field goal team out there. Garrett Hartley, let him get a chance to put 3 points on the board.
And he's 5 of 7 from this distance this year, inside of 40 yards. And this will be a 32-yard attempt. And Hartley's kick is true, right down the middle, and Oklahoma extends their lead 17-6 with 6:23 to go before halftime. And let's check in again with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Drew, as you see Sooner fans and Sooner man right here happy about the Oklahoma Sooners performance so far. And don't forget, college football fans, you can email us throughout tonight's game. Just log on to foxsports.com on MSN keyword Ask Knox. Send us an email. We'll try to answer it in the second half. That's foxsports.com on MSN. What's the keyword, guys? Ask Knox! There we go. Send us an email. We'll get it answered in the second half, Drew.
Knoxy, I sent you an email. I sent you an email 2 years ago. I still haven't gotten a response. What I want to know, Jim, I want to know how long Sooner man it takes him to get that makeup off.
I bet it's a party when they go do that. They sit the guy down in the chair, and there's probably a little fun getting involved, getting dressed up for these games.
Just a little bit.
I bet Knoxie's going down to the tunnel now. He's going to check his email real quick, going to get his little laptop out.
No, actually, let's ask Sooner man. How 2 hours, huh?
Today it was usually 45 minutes.
All right, Drew, 2 hours. So after the game, he'll give you a crash course on it, and we can see it decked out next time out.
Sooner man. I'll pass on that. Sooner man.
He's got a future, doesn't he?
Going to be a cartoon or a comic book soon in your neighborhood. Sooners leading 17-6, and even without the running backs, I mean Peterson, Kewan Jones,
yeah, been an
Dante
efficient
Hickson.
offense.
But you know what? This is the best they've played on offense for a half in a while.
Yeah, they started out okay, got consistency, and just running the football, passing it. Things kind of going their way. Now Baylor needs to answer here. They've got time to do so in this half.
Sean Rashad, he's got an opening up the gut. Rashad, he's on the sideline. I don't think anybody can catch him. Rashad to the end zone, no flags, touchdown Baylor. That's one way to respond. 97 yards on the return by the senior from Houston.
I talked about Sean Rashad as a big play wide receiver and in the kicking game here earlier, and that's exactly what he brings to this football team. Bob Stoops not happy about that. He's very diligent on special teams here at Oklahoma. When you kick off, you want to be able to make plays and stop somebody, and it kind of quiets the audience, the crowd here. Good job by Baylor. Good block, sealing everybody inside. Sean Rashad runs around Hartley. He never has a chance, and just turns on the Jets to the end zone. That's the way to answer a nice drive by the Sooners.
Second time Rashad has been in the end zone on special teams this year. He had an 85-yard punt return against Samford earlier. They will go for 2 after missing the extra point earlier. Bell with pressure has a man. Two-point conversion's good, but we have a flag down. Trent Shelton made the catch.
Yeah, it's going to be a pick play against Baylor. They picked off the receiver coming across the person covering the back out of the backfield. Offensive pass interference. Well, that's how you get that open in the end zone, guy. You run it, but you got caught. That's okay. You get to line up and try it again.
Cooper Castleberry.
Now he's going to put the field goal team out there and probably go for the 1 point.
Pass interference on number 7 of the offense. The penalty is 15 yards on the try.
Well, the call's on Ziegler, who's at the top of the screen here. Watch him as he comes back inside. There's the pick right there, and they throw it to the outside. The officials, 2 of them, actually throw it on there. Now we've got a 35-yard extra point.
And Ryan Havens from the hash mark. And he gets it through. 17-13, the separation 4 points. Let's take a look again at that great return by Sean Rashan, a former walk-on.
Well, when you get the guy with the ball in his hands like Sean Rashan, he just goes right around Hartley. Does not have a chance. He runs right at him, and then just too much speed to go around the corner. Plenty of speed there to finish that effort. Here's Hartley coming down trying to make a play, and you got to break down and got to use your friend, which is the sideline, and that's just no match. There's just no way that he can even make that play.
You know what? That's tough for an athletic guy in that situation. And I'm not trying to. He may be a terrific athlete, but when you have a guy running full tilt at you, even with the boundary there,
no,
that's not an easy play.
And really, he had a two-way go. Sean could have gone back inside or gone outside. He just chose to go outside. But with his speed and what he was going with, he did exactly what he needed to get it around the edge and all the way to the house for Baylor.
You're talking about Baylor responding offensively. Oklahoma's taking over the momentum in the game, and then bang, special teams play.
Kind of quiet out here right now, isn't it? These fans, up in his ball game, 17-13, but a little quieter here in this stadium. Now the Baylor defense has to go out there and do something because the last couple of drives have been all OU. They've been able to run the ball, pass the ball. So Baylor's got to find a way to slow them down if possible.
But you can see a difference in this Baylor football team.
And what did Guy Moore?
They didn't come in here for moral victory.
No doubt. What did Guy Morris tell us? Hey, the first team to 21, 23 points might win this game. Getting pretty close.
He might have to amend that. Reggie Smith, 2 yards deep. Nowhere to go, but somehow he finds a little bit of an opening momentarily. And gets it out to the 15-yard line. Nick Moore went down on a couple of special teams tackles. So Oklahoma backed up to their own 16-yard line, ahead 17-13. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O. Oklahoma from the sideline right to the line of scrimmage. Rhett Bomart in the football game is 12 of 18. And he'll go play action here. Throws it in the flat to Runnels. And he makes 2 men miss. And coming back and making the tackle is C.J. Wilson. He was the guy who initially missed.
Yeah, C.J. flew by, did a flyby on J.D. Runnels. J.D. catches ball out of the backfield. Rhett Bomart doing a good job of checking down to his fullback. He's got a few catches in his ball game already and tosses it out there to him nice. And watching the outside, C.J. not just fly by. You got to hit him. You got to make that tackle. Another inside-out missed tackle there by the defense. That was Tyler Lindstrom coming from the inside.
Gutierrez takes the football, and he'll have a first down to the 33-yard line. Time for another Dr. Pepper game break. Mike Goldberg, what do you know?
Well, I know there's no hangover in South Bend due to the loss to USC because Brady Quinn was outstanding. 476 yards, a school record, 6 touchdowns today against BYU, and Charlie Weiss gets his first home win as head coach of the Irish.
Mike ended up being a runaway, but early on, BYU has given Notre Dame all they wanted. With Gary Reasons and Jim Knox, I'm Drew Goodman from Norman, Oklahoma. 17-13 here. Sooners and the Baylor Bears locked up in a good one. Bomar, he's got a man all alone down the middle of the field, and Rankins drops the football. Too much time to think about it. Juwan Rankins was all by his lonesome.
Wow, all the Sooner fans all let out air at the same time because, wow, this is something that you really should have. Juwan Rankins is downfield, and the defensive back for Baylor actually gives up on the coverage. Rhett Bomar comes around the side here. He's just a little bootleg, go back in the backfield. They're trying to hit him down here. Nothing going, and you see the guy fall short. Juwan Rankins in the middle of the field say, hey, throw me the ball, and guess what? You got it, but you got to make the catch. Rhett Bomar does his job. Juwan, you got to pull that ball in. That's a big play if they'd have had it for the Sooners.
Gutierrez with some room. Another first down. Gutierrez has the edge. Inside the 40-yard line of Baylor.
Well, Jacob Gutierrez, he's not big. He's 5'7", about $175, and you know, coming into this ball game, just 16 carries on the season. Young man from San Antonio, the 2002 City Player of the Year in San Antonio. Physical standout here, good blocking. Take a look at the point of attack here, and then Bush going to come across, and Gutierrez get right in there behind him. And watch the move here. He sets up the defensive back and makes him grab grass. That's what you want from your running back in the open field, be able to make people miss.
10 carries, 41 yards for Gutierrez. Got 27 there. Play action. This ball's thrown up into double coverage, and it's knocked away.
Yeah, maybe triple coverage.
Yeah, Malcolm Kelly. And a flag's down back around the 45-yard line in the backfield of Oklahoma. And it's going to be a hold on the Sooners. Let me ask you something. Are you a little surprised that Baylor has not tried to heat up Rhett Bomar more than they have so far?
Well, I think Oklahoma's done a good job of keeping him off balance so that the guy Morris's football team doesn't know when to blitz. Bill Bradley.
Number 77 of the offense. The penalty is 10 yards, and it's still first down.
Bill Bradley's in a guessing game right now with Chuck Long. Okay, should I blitz first down or second down? Are you going to run the ball? Are you going to pass the ball? Oklahoma has established a running game. They've established a play-action passing game. They've established a down-the-field passing game. So all of those things play into the favor of the offense right now. The defense is guessing, which is why they're probably not blitzing as much and putting pressure on the quarterback.
249 yards of offense for Oklahoma in the first half. They came in averaging just 290. One of the worst marks offensively in college football. Not much here. No gain. In fact, it'll be 2nd and 20.
Well, Rhett Bomar at the line of scrimmage. He comes up and checks into this run play. Just not effective there for that on that play, though.
Jamal Harper made the tackle. You played on some great defenses with the New York Giants, and one thing, when you look at Baylor defensively and all great defenses, you'll see consistently 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to the football.
Yeah, you got to have relentless pursuit going to the football all the time, and they're a pretty good group right now. They're efficient, but they haven't been able to consistently slow down Oklahoma.
And that ball is knocked away from Finley on the coverage, Jamal Harper. So Harper a moment ago against the run, and then he drops into coverage and makes a play.
Good job by Jamal Harper here. Take a look at what Baylor has done so far this year defensively. It's an improved group, there's no doubt about it. What they've been able to do is hold opponents in rushing games from 2004 to 2005. That's a huge difference. 80 yards a game rushing and passing improvement there. 303 yards total defense allowed this season compared to 421. And most importantly, when you can hold teams to 16.5 points a game, you're going to have a chance to win ball games.
You're talking about a 3-touchdown difference from a year ago. That is complete for a first down to Finley.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. The defense was deep that time. The secondary was, and Joe John Finley up the far hash mark just kind of slows down, and Rhett Bomar throws in kind of a wounded duck here, but watch Finley just kind of slow down, the ball fall inside and gets underneath C.J. Wilson there. So another first down here for Rhett Bomar in the passing game.
That is a huge pickup for Oklahoma. Clock moving inside 3.5 to go in the first half. 17-13 Sooners. Gutierrez makes Harper miss. He's got the edge again. Gutierrez to the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. If you're a Sooner fan and you did not know who Jacob Gutierrez was before tonight, you do now.
And he's getting some help up front. That offensive line, I tell you what, they won at the point of attack. No doubt about it. They won the corner. Jacob Gutierrez just took it around the edge with his speed, and the 5'7" Mighty Mike there doing a good job of getting the score here for his football team. At the point of attack, you see Joe John Finley turn to the corner. And it's just a foot race, and nobody's going to catch him around there. Calvin Shashan doing a good job. Number 70 on that block as well.
Garrett Hartley makes it 24-13. An 84-yard scoring drive. Gutierrez in the end zone for the second time tonight. This against a defense that had been pretty solid against the run coming in Baylor.
Shashan right there holding it, and then Joe John Finley on the outside holding that block. And then the defense from the inside out, they just cannot get there. That's Maurice Lane trying to get to the sideline, not able to catch up with him, and pretty good wheels by Gutierrez.
First half, still 3:13 to go, Gary. Oklahoma becomes the first team this year to score more than 23 points against Baylor.
So they put up some pretty good numbers, consistency, we talked about that, and we've got plenty of time here left in this half for Baylor to get out there and do something on their own. 24-13, still a ball game here, no doubt about that, but right now Oklahoma has been very effective offensively.
How about this for effective offensively? 184 yards of offense in the second quarter for Oklahoma. Guy Morris's club, 15 yards.
That's dominance. There's no doubt about that. Oklahoma's done everything they wanted to do, and Baylor's not been able to find that same rhythm they had early in the ball game.
In fact, they haven't had it on offense in about a half hour, because the last time they were going to get it, Sean Rashawn went 97 yards for a touchdown on a kick return. So Hartley set to kick it deep.
Well, I bet there's some coaching going on the sidelines here for this kickoff coverage for Oklahoma. Bob Stoops very, very adamant about special teams play.
He's kicking into a bit of a breeze. And this is a short kick taken by Rashawn at the 22. He loses the football. Oklahoma is on it. The Sooners have the football. Oh, you talk about going from top shelf stuff to drag it off the field. Sean Rashawn in the end zone a few moments back, and now he coughs it up.
Well, Alan Patrick also covered on this kick. We talked about Gutierrez covering kicks. Number 23 is going to be the one who's going to make the tackle on him, on Sean Rashawn, and just hang on. There's the contact, and actually one of his players knocks the ball out. That Jones underneath there, he actually runs into Sean Rashawn, and Patrick on the nice tackle.
So Oklahoma again with a short field. Gutierrez, he runs into Colin Allred, and that's the end of that play at the line of scrimmage. Baylor in this game has had it for 7 minutes and 8 seconds. The Sooners have had it for more than 20.
That's ball control. That's the way to win football games. If you don't give the other team a chance to operate, albeit they did have the kickoff return for a score.
That's reminiscent of a game back in '89. Oklahoma won against Baylor 33-7. They ran 72 plays, 70 were on the ground. Pressure coming, and Bomar gets away. And he'll throw it away now.
Well, this is one where a defensive lineman says, hey, I got to make this play, and you get your quarterback back there and can't get him to the ground.
That's Julian Hill who had him wrapped up. 250-pound defensive end.
Yeah, we got a flag against Oklahoma. I think it's going to be
maybe grounding.
Potential of grounding here, throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's still in the tackle box, even though he's 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage after the near sack.
The quarterback was still in the pocket and did not throw a catchable pass. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul, 3rd down.
Well, in their estimation, the ball was not catchable by any Oklahoma receiver. So when he steps out, well, it looks like he was out of the pocket to me. And you take 2 or 3 steps to your right or left, you're definitely out of the pocket.
But he's still in the tackle box. He's still within the tackles.
It's all a judgment call by the official, and that's the referee who threw that flag. So in his estimation, he was still in the tackle box.
Well, now it's 3rd and 22. Outside single coverage, and Thompson got tied up with the corner, no flag on the coverage. James Todd.
Yeah, this is the ball.
That'll be 4th down.
This is the ball I think that Paul Thompson, if he actually keeps his feet, has a chance to make. He's a great jumper. I think he's about a 6'10" high jumper. Rhett Bomar throws the ball out there, and if he doesn't fall down, he's going to have a chance to go up and try to make a leaping catch on this football. They just got tangled up there, and Paul Thompson takes a tumble.
I love that decision, too, by Bomar. I mean, it's 3rd down and a whole bunch.
Nothing wrong, take a shot.
Give Thompson an opportunity in single coverage to make a play.
Up in front.
Andrews at his own 10 will let it hit. Alan Patrick down on special teams, covers it at the 1.
Alan Patrick doing everything here, causing a fumble in the kick return. Running the football out of the backfield, and now covering a kick and stopping it inside the 5-yard line. In college football, you just have to maintain control, and he does. Stops the ball, tosses it back. He's not in contact with the end zone. Good job by Patrick.
47-yard punt by Cody Freeby, and a net of 47.
Well, now if you're Oklahoma, you're looking to conserve time here because you might think you're going to get the ball back with great field position. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in this half.
Sooners have only 1 timeout, and now after Baylor calls timeout, the Bears will have just 1 timeout. (24-13) Oklahoma. 24-13 Oklahoma, 2:05 to go before halftime, and the Sooners have Baylor backed up inside their own 1. Mosley will give him some room. Boy, that's a hard-nosed run there out to the 9-yard line. That's a vintage Paul Mosley run. How about the snaps in this game, Gary Reeves? It's 2-1 in favor of Oklahoma. They have 47 snaps, and they produced almost 300 yards of offense.
And that's the results of it there. And good job by Oklahoma in all facets of this ball game so far. And Baylor now in a tough spot. They definitely want to get a 1st down and keep themselves out of giving Oklahoma another scoring opportunity.
And Mosley, it depends where they spot the ball.
The line judge on the near sideline, if it's his right foot, they're going to give him the 1st down.
And they will not measure Cooper Castleberry. He's got that 20/20 vision. See, he looked from about 45 yards away. He plumb lined it, and he said it's a 1st down. And now, with the clock stop, 1:23 to go, a little more room. Do you open it up some?
No, I think that Baylor, they need to be careful here. They need to maintain ball control, and they don't want to do anything stupid, because if you have a ball tipped or a fumble or something, you need to just play it close to the vest here. I don't think that Sean Bell wants to make any mistakes here. Give Oklahoma another opportunity.
3 wideouts and high backfield. The ball's on the ground, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Sean Bell dropped the football as he was going back to throw it, it looked like. I want to ask you something. We were discussing with Guy Morris the other day how Baylor has moved along and progressed the last couple of years. He said the one place we're really inexperienced is playing big games, and it showed up last week against Nebraska.
Yeah, big stage last week against Nebraska, a game that they felt like they going into had a chance to win, didn't win that ball game. And same type of a situation here. This is a learning experience for Baylor, and coming here with high hopes of doing well.
And that ball is dropped. 14 tight end Keegan Van, who had a catch last week, dropped it. Junior from Katy, Texas. And that stops the clock with 20 seconds left.
Well, I'd be surprised here if Baylor doesn't put this ball on the ground and run the clock, try to get out of this half and get back in at halftime and regroup a little bit.
Mosley out to the 18-yard line.
Bob Stoops on the sideline, comes off about 5 yards and grabs an official. Hey, timeout. We're going to get this ball back. We want to return this punt.
They want to return it or maybe go after the punt by Sepulveda with 12 seconds left. Dvorak, Jackie Shipp visiting on the sideline.
Now Sepulveda, going to punt this football. Flip the field with an opportunity. If you take a look at the Big 12 South Division.
Brought to you by Power Bar. Texas improved to 7-0. They beat up Texas Tech today. The Aggies are 3-1 in conference play, 5-2 overall. And then, as we talked about off the top, bowl implications for Oklahoma, and for the first time in a long time for Baylor. They're 2 wins shy of becoming bowl eligible. They haven't gone bowling since 1994. In the North, even though the North the last couple of years has been down by comparison to the South, you have a number of schools that have an opportunity also to go bowling.
Yeah, really. And we saw Colorado, an update there earlier tonight. They were ahead in their ball game. We'll try to get an update later on.
Oklahoma, you gotta believe they'll come after Sepulveda.
So if I'm Sepulveda, I don't punt this ball at all to a returner. I kick it right or left of him, try to kick it out of bounds.
They come after him, and he got rid of it. And Gary, he did exactly what you said. He just got the football out, and it was away from Rankins. It dies at the 42-yard line, and that will be the final snap of the first half. The first quarter, it was Baylor's first quarter. In the second quarter, it was all Oklahoma. And let's go downstairs to Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Coach, you got to be pleased with the way the first half came to a close right here. 14 running back and Jacob Gutierrez, and you guys close to 300 yards of offense.
He's a great young man, a great competitor, great player. We knew he'd do pretty well. We knew he'd do well. He's an excellent player. Penalties, kicking game, and turnovers. That's the whole deal. You know, we're the kicking game and the turnover we give them down there. You can't do that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Jim, 24-13 at the break. Bob Stoops' Oklahoma Sooners in charge from Owen Field in Norman. Now let's join Mike Goldberg, Billy Ray Smith, and DeMarco Farr for our College Football Saturday halftime report.
Drew, thank you very much. Welcome to the College Football Saturday Halftime Report alongside the Hall of Famer Billy Ray Smith, the Super Bowl and national champion and Heisman Trophy Award winner as well. DeMarco Farr, I'm Mike Goldberg. Let's go right to the big battle of unbeatens in the Big 12.
College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera. We're at Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma. A couple moments before the start of the third quarter, 24-13. Sooners back upstairs with Gary Reasons. I'm Drew Goodman. Oklahoma put together their most productive half offensively, and they did it with a fourth-string tailback.
Hey, Jacob Gutierrez came in here and did a great job. Adrian Peterson still hampered by that ankle injury, so Gutierrez, the sophomore, has to go and does a good job for this football team. You know, the biggest thing I think in this football game has really been the play of the offensive line. Gutierrez has had blocking in front of him, giving him some lanes to run the football. Now, I think the play of the quarterback has definitely improved. Rhett Bomar has gotten hot in this football game. He has spread the ball around, 175 yards passing in the first half. And so Rhett Bomar combined with the running game really is the key here for Oklahoma. You take a look at this Honda stats here for the first half. Baylor, you take a look at what they've done. Not a whole lot offensively, just a total of 96 yards. Credit that to the OU defense. and 299 yards for Oklahoma. They have been very efficient, very effective, and the time of possession is key in this football game. Over 20 minutes for Oklahoma and just for 9 minutes for Baylor University.
Well, let's get it downstairs again. Third member of our crew, Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Drew. I just got through talking to Guy Morris, the Baylor head football coach, and he told me they just got to get it in the end zone somehow, take some pressure off the defense. I asked him about his quarterback situation, guys, and listen to this. If Sean Bell does not do well here in the second half, look for Terrence Park to get into this game very soon.
Well, that's something, Jim, that Guy told us he may do in this football game. Parks played last week a few snaps, and he'll do it to give his team a boost, to give him a little bit of a lift. Parks is a very athletic kid with a home run arm. We'll see how that story unfolds in the third quarter, but Baylor didn't have the football much at all in the second quarter, and now they got to play defense.
Hey, take a look what Oklahoma's done offensively here. Rhett Bomar, 175 yards passing. Gutierrez and Runnels catching the football out of the backfield, and Gutierrez impressive here running the football. But again, I think the line play is key here for Oklahoma, establishing their passing game, getting the running game going. All of that together starts up front.
And now the sixth start in the career of Rhett Bomar, and I thought for the most part he made very good decisions in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, he did. Rhett Bomar did not make too many mistakes, had the one interception, but here's Gutierrez going once again.
And he picks up 3 or 4. He's very close to 100 yards. If you give him 3, he's at 99 yards. Let's revisit the keys to the game brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Well, I talked about consistency, running the ball, passing the ball. Those are great numbers for a football team in the first half. Defensively, 0 passes broken up, but they really haven't had to because Baylor's only been on the field for about 95 yards worth of offense. Start fast, they've done that. 24 second quarter points. Pretty good job by Oklahoma to start this football game.
So important for any offense, but particularly when you have a young quarterback and you have a 4th string tailback. They've been, for the most part, on schedule on first down. They throw it in the flat, and Manuel Johnson will have 6 yards, and that should be enough to stretch the chains again. Willie Andrews knocked him out.
Well, the football game tonight for Oklahoma, take a look at their drives tonight. Couple early on here, punt and interception to start things. Then they get a series of where they put points on the board. So 4 opportunities there. They put points up there, and they certainly do so. And good effectiveness here for this football team offensively, and the defense doing a good job slowing Sean Bell down, not letting him get on track passing that football and that running game. So Bob Stoops got to be happy about that. The one sore spot I think that he sees is probably that kick return that Baylor had. Sean Rashawn with a kick return for a touchdown.
First down out of the gun. Bomar throws it in the flat. Gutierrez gets lit up. Hit immediately by C.J. Wilson. He had an opportunity for a big hit earlier in the ball game in the flat against J.D. Runnels, and he whiffed. Not this time.
No flyby this time. This time C.J. does a good job of putting his helmet right on the chest of Gutierrez. So it brings up a 2nd and long now. Actually probably lost a couple yards on that play.
One of the things about playing running back, as you know, Gary, is that it's an instinctual position. So Gutierrez comes in there. He may not get a lot of reps in practice, but now after getting some reps in the game, he's doing what he's always done. He's finding a little crease, and he's running the football.
You know, talking to some of the guys down at halftime, you know, it's kind of thinking of Quentin Griffin and how small he was of stature, not very big, and running out of this eye, out of the shotgun is probably a little more suited to him than perhaps even Adrian Peterson, because quick stop and start, able to change directions, and you really can't see him. He's only 5'7", so that kind of plays in the hands of a back like Gutierrez, and, you know, I think that this is something that Oklahoma can build on in the event that Adrian Peterson can't continue or is not able to perform the play here in the next couple of weeks.
3rd and 7. Kelvin Shashan had a good block on that last running play. Breaks down, ball's on the ground. And falling on it was Chris Mesner. Colin Allred with the tackle. Bomar lost the football. He's done that a few times this year. He's kind of taken care of it the last couple of weeks. But Oklahoma averts disaster there, falling on the ball.
Rhett Bomar just stepping up into the pocket here, trying to avoid pressure and get away from the rush here. Kind of a sandwich, all red, and C.J. Mosley on the outside coming in there, and the ball pops out.
Well, that's exactly what Baylor needed to turn away Oklahoma. They got a first down initially. Freeby's punt toward Andrews, and it's a short punt. And it'll take an Oklahoma roll to about the 31-yard line. That's where Baylor will have it. 3 minutes into the third quarter. The punt by Freeby, 42 yards.
And we'll take a look at what Baylor's done tonight. Sean Bell, 8 of 18 passing, less than 50%. Came into the ball game 61% completion percentage. Not matching that effort so far tonight. He's got the 1 touchdown, and Paul Mosley only 26 yards on the ground, and Dominique Ziegler 3 catches for 41 yards. But overall, pretty good job by the OU defense to slow this Baylor offense down, allowing less than 100 yards in total offense in the first half.
Brandon Whitaker in the ball game next to Bell. Ziegler crosses in motion. And Whitaker takes the football. And he'll move for about 4 yards to the 35-yard line, 2nd and 6. And let's take a look again at the keys. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper for the Baylor Bears.
Well, you want to get a fast start. They led in this football game early, but they did not sustain that. Make Bomar throw the ball. Well, Bomar has done that and done a good job, so that really has kind of backfired on him. And don't self-destruct. Well, they've got the penalties and the 2 turnovers. Those are things you cannot do when you come here to Oklahoma and try to win a football game. Take a look at Dusty Dvorak there, starting up front there. Guy who's been a big leader in that defensive front. Sat out a year last year and really has played well this year. Bob Stoops talked about his play, and it has been impressive, and he's been a leader out there.
He's also a tremendous student. He's a guy that will be up for academic all Big 12 honors. We have a delay. There's some sort of discussion. I don't know what it would be about. Previous play was a running play for about 4 yards. Maybe a clock issue. They're looking up there. Now that's probably what it is, because when the change it downs, there was 12 minutes, only 3 seconds.
Clock to 11:50, 11:50.
Yeah, that running play took more than 3 seconds.
There we go. Got that squared away, so now we can play some football. 2nd down here for the Bears.
Ziegler and Shelton go right. Shelton's in the slot. 2 tight ends. Whitaker, the running back. Play action boot. And that pass high to the tight end Mike Miller. And that's one you got to have. I mean, that's a little catch and throw you run in practice, and that's got to be automatic. And the throw from Bell, too tall for Miller, and Miller's a big kid. He's 6'3 plus.
And Sean Bell's rolling to his right. Should be an efficient throw here for him as a right-handed quarterback, and ball sails a little bit there, so big tight end can't pull that ball down. So it brings up another 3rd down situation here.
They've been good on 3rd down this year. 4th in the Big 12. Tonight, just 2 of 7. They drop 8 into coverage, and that will be close to a 1st down. Ziegler got to the 41-yard line. That's about where he needed to get to. And now the spot, I believe, is going to move him just a little bit short of the 1st down.
Might be about a foot short here, Drew.
It'll be interesting to see what
Take a look at the
Morris
pressure
does.
here. You've got 3 guys coming, then you're going to drop 8 underneath here and let the defense catch the ball in front of you right there. Then you're going to pop up and try to make a tackle and stop them short of the 1st down yardage. And they're going to measure here, Drew.
Wow, yeah, Cooper Castleberry's got those good eyes, Gary, and he's staring it down again. And now Sean Bell's come over, and he wants to take a look.
He's got his big offensive tackle there coming over and taking a look at it. Let him see if it's going to be measured for a 1st down. Might have been one of the
the punt.
Bring Glenn Oskin over there trying to look down the line, saying, "Well, we're not going to measure this because it's not a 1st down."
Yeah, and they're going to bring in Sepulveda and the punt team. Now somebody got a head start for Baylor.
Prior to the snap, a false start by number 2 of the offense.
That's one of the,
is 5 yards, and it's still 4th down.
that's one of the gunners. Number 2's Josh Bell, backup cornerback. That's always a fun assignment. You get double teamed the whole way down the football field. And this is a line drive returnable punt. Rankins from the 10. Trying to get to the wall. And he'll get it out above the 20 to the 23-yard line. One possession for each school here in the third quarter. Nothing's changed on the scoreboard. 24-13, Oklahoma. 54-yard punt by Sepulveda. Return of 12 by Rankins.
Did you pick your pumpkin yet, Drew?
Well, you know what? We grew some pumpkins this year.
Did you?
We grew some pumpkins. Some need to orange up a little bit. I don't know if that's a pumpkin term, but the kids are excited. Here's Gutierrez again, trying to get wide. And he's thrown to the ground by Andrews. Willie Andrews, a senior from Longview, Texas, a 3-year starter.
You see from Baylor, they're not quitting in this football game. They're flying to the football. That's kind of the motto that they have out there. And take a look what Jacob Gutierrez done tonight.
How about that? I mean, Adrian Peterson ran for over 200 against Tulsa week 2. Since that time, no running backs come close to 100 yards. Last week, Kewan Jones and Hickson both over 50, but they're not available tonight. Hickson has a bad ankle, and Kewan Jones was suspended for the game. That is complete to Malcolm Kelly. And Kelly will have a first down to the 37-yard line. Maurice Lane wrestled him to the turf.
I think Oklahoma fans are starting to see right now what they thought they were going to get out of Rhett Bomar all this season. He is starting to see this football game and playing against a pretty good defense. Baylor's actually played pretty well all season long and throwing the football around the field, getting the ball in there to Kelly for a good completion in the seam. He's standing comfortably back there, and I think it starts up front, Drew. I think the offensive line is giving him enough protection to where he can comfortably throw that football. Offensive unit's working pretty well.
Bomar in trouble, and he's driven to the ground. Julian Hill got him. Julian Hill with the sack, his first of the year. And that is a loss of 7 yards, back to the 30.
I think Julian Hill just goes right through a block of perhaps one of the running backs right here. Julian Hill's going to be coming up the field here. He's going to go right through and continue to Bomar. And there's the tailback there blocking. That's not a real hard block there by Allen. And it just goes right through him and gets Bomar. So a little something to work on there. Allen hadn't had a whole lot of plays in the backfield at the tailback spot to worry about picking up those inside rushes, those big defensive linemen.
Now Patrick running the football. And he gets 6 of those yards back. It'll be 3rd and 11. Montez Murphy and Michael Gray in there defensively. We were talking about Malcolm Kelly after that catch. Body type wise, he reminds me of Roy Williams. Not Oklahoma's Roy Williams, Texas's Roy Williams a couple years ago.
Yeah, 6'4", 205 pounds, a great target. Lanky's got good speed too, 4.5 or better. Get down the field and stretch the field.
Pressure coming again. Bomar on the run. And he's hit hard and dropped at the 31-yard line by Jamal Harper. Allred had pressure. And Bomar's hurting now. He's grabbing his calf. You hope it's a cramp. But Bomar's not getting up.
Well,
keep in mind, the backup quarterback is a starting wideout. Number 12, Paul Thompson, who started the opener against TCU. A 17-10 loss.
Well, that's disappointing because he's been playing very well in his football game. That time he just goes out there and tries to make something with his feet. Good contact by both linebackers. Harper and Allred on him on that tackle. Take a look at Paul Thompson's numbers on the season. Take a look as Allred tackles him around the legs, and there's Harper.
Well, you didn't see an ankle turn, and now he's walking off in pretty good shape. He's got that left ankle heavily taped, the right ankle heavily taped. You hope he just tweaked a previous injury, and it doesn't look to be serious.
You know, he might have got a hit there. That Allred, when he swung there, saw his foot go down. That's what happened. He knocked his foot out behind him, and just that firm arm thrust there that Allred had knocked his foot out behind him. So just a little ginger. Hopefully he's going to be fine.
Freebie will punt it. Andrews back at his own 30 for Baylor. Short punt. And Andrews will take it on the bounce. And he is drilled at the 35-yard line. Good coverage by Oklahoma. Punt of 38 yards, just a couple on the return. 24-13, Oklahoma. College football Saturday presented by Kyocera continues from Norman, Oklahoma. 7:35 to go in the third quarter. The Sooners leading the Baylor Bears 24-13. Drew Goodman, Gary Reason, Jim Knox. Just under 84,000 in attendance tonight at Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium in Oklahoma. Sean Bell has it complete to Trent Shelton. Short gain out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And again, let's visit with Jim Knox.
Okay, thanks, Drew. The Rhett Bomar story continues here on the bench. He's up. He was down on the bench, though. They were massaging his right calf, so it looked like a calf cramp. So it wasn't his right ankle. They were massaging his right calf, and he's up right now. Everything looks well with Rhett Bomar.
Well, that's good news. You ever get one of those, you got to jump out of bed, you get him at night?
Yeah, just get stiff, and there's nothing you can do. Just got to kind of relax and get that thing worked out.
Got to get the legs straightened out. Short gain there for Paul Mosley, tackled by C.J. Ayu. Third down and 4.
You'd like, if you're a Baylor, you'd like to be able to convert, get some first downs on second down. Not always go to third down. It's not been productive for them right now. They need to find first and second down to get those chains to move.
They need the 46-yard line here. Mosley and Whitaker in the backfield with Bell. Three coming, throw it in the flat. Mosley, good catch. First down inside the 40-yard line of Oklahoma. Nice job by Mosley. One of the real bonuses with Baylor, both their backs, Mosley and Whitaker, catch the football very well.
They do a good job here. They only rush 3 players on this, Oklahoma does, and they drop 8, but they get Mosley out of the backfield here. Does a good job of turning up, and number 41, Darren Williams, he's come in to make this tackle right there. He just kind of lets him go and continues on to the back of the end, back into the secondary for more yardage.
So Baylor on the move, 1st and 10 from the 37. They give it to Mosley, and Mosley knocking folks over inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Boy, that was a physical run.
Big Mo, that's what you got there. Big Mosley running hard. He's there. Heavier of the 2 running backs, your power tailback did stop and start in the backfield, but then when he found a hole, shot right through there very well and actually took some Sooners with him. So they look here at the power of Paul Mosley as he runs, good cut. Pretty physical tailback.
Another first down. We were saying a moment ago, it's okay to get a first down on 1st or 2nd. They just did it there. 2 tight ends. Give it to the hot back, Mosley. And he'll get it to the 19-yard line. Took 3 or 4 Sooners to combine to bring him down. Rufus Alexander and Lewis Baker. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O. 5:36 to go in the third quarter.
Drew, this would be a big boost here for Baylor if they can punch this into the end zone, get them back into this football game. 24-13 margin now, thinking points on the board.
Shelton and Ziegler go right. Oklahoma shows blitz, they come with it. Bell has single coverage, it's complete out of bounds at the 7-yard line. It's Dominique Ziegler, knocked out by DJ Wolf.
He likes Sean Bell. Smooth in the pocket, got good footwork and throws kind of off his back foot on this one. Little half roll, but gets it out there very nicely to Dominic Ziegler right on the sideline. This is good timing between a quarterback and a receiver. The receiver's got to turn and be in the right area and look back for that football and have the confidence that's going to get there. Sean Bell's going to step out and take a look at him run down there, and then he zeroes in on Ziegler, throws the ball before he even looks around, and good spot for that ball.
Van and Jason Smith, the tight ends. Mosley, the single setback. Roll to the left, broken tackle, touchdown, Baylor Bears, Sean Rashawn. And here comes the Baylor Bears once again.
Nice play design here. This is a one-on-one setup here. They're going to get a good explosive player, Sean Rashawn, on Chichoke Onyeneghecha, number 22 for Oklahoma. It's one-on-one here, and Sean Rashawn takes him inside and then goes around, and then he just stops and starts and lets him miss the tackle. Good job by Rashawn of turning that short catch into a touchdown here for Baylor.
First receiving touchdown this year for Rashawn. He's got one on a kick return, a punt return. He's got one rushing, and now one receiving. They'll go for two again. Bell, and he was dropped by C.J. Ayu. Two-point conversion's no good. 24-19 Oklahoma. 5:06 to go in the third quarter. A 7-play, 65-yard drive orchestrated by Sean Bell. The plot thickens from Norman. 5-point separation. In Memorial Stadium, 84,000 folks, and it's an intriguing ball game. 24-19 Oklahoma leading Baylor. Drew Goodman, Gary Reasons, Jim Knox, and that kick 7 yards deep. How about this? First quarter, Oklahoma outgained Baylor 115-63, 184-33 in the second quarter. In the third, 74-15 in favor of Baylor.
Talk about making mistakes coming in here. You're trying to go for 2 points to get it within a 3-point margin, but if you can hold it right there, you can see you've got a tight end on the line of scrimmage here and nobody on the line of scrimmage over here. This is actually a busted formation by Baylor. They need to have a tight end there to throw that ball to, and Sean Bell says, hey, where's my guys at?
So Red Bomar comes out in an I formation, and they'll go toss sweep to Patrick, penetration in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of a yard. That is that is that Allred? Yeah. No, that was, Tyler Lindstrom, senior from Omaha, Texas.
Now they play 5 or 6 linebackers here. Here's Lindstrom right there, number 39. Plays at the point of attack there, takes on the fullback. Pretty good job there with the linebacker, taking up inside out, just plays with good leverage. That's what you'd like to do. Your fullback just doesn't get the kick out block.
Pressure, and here's the blitz packages starting to get to Red Bomar. He was pretty much untouched in the first half. Allred got there, and Bomar just now picking himself off the turf.
Well, you got to take some shots here, and that's what Bill Bradley's doing. Get his defense to make a play in his football game. The sack earlier, and just see the pressure. You can see they're only rushing 5. But they bring Colin Allred around on a loop stunt around the nose and gets there untouched.
4th sack on the season for Allred. He's an enterprising young man. He's got a computer repair business. He had a quarterback repair business. That ball's nearly intercepted by Todd, and Oklahoma goes 3 and out. They went backwards there. Malcolm Kelly, the intended target.
James Todd had excellent coverage there on Malcolm Kelly, and I think that Red Bomar is feeling a little ill in his right ankle there, a little gimpy. Throws his ball out there, kind of a low throw. Allows for Todd to almost pick that ball off.
He's fortunate it was not picked off. Good coverage by Todd, the junior from Marshall, Texas. Freebeal punted out of his own end zone. Baylor figures to get great field position. Go from a tight punt formation. And it's not a good effort off the side of the foot. It does take an Oklahoma roll. And a flag is also down back at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, probably going to be a holding penalty here on the rush.
You got it, Gary.
Yeah, Baylor was rushing on this punt, and it looked like to be on the right side there was going to be a takedown here. That's what they're going to call as a holding penalty, but great field position for Baylor. They may decline this penalty, and it looks like that's what their coaches are saying over there at the 50-yard line.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't make him punt it again. Back deep in his own end zone, and Freebie, they may not have seen it, but Freebie kind of hobbled off the field.
Holding number 42 of the kicking team. The penalties declined. It's first down.
We'll take a look at the right side. Going to be rushing here, and that's where the penalty's going to be. See the hand up around. He just pulls the jersey down. That's definitely a holding penalty. Freebie looks like he might have turned his ankle on that, just bringing his foot down after the kick.
Yeah, there's no way the Baylor coaches could have seen that. But had they realized that he was hobbled, they may have had him punt it again. Great field position regardless. 47-yard line, Oklahoma for Baylor, trailing by 5. They have never beaten Oklahoma. 0-14. Mosley on a little counter. And Reggie Smith is the first to meet him, but a gain of 5.
And we talked about being efficient on first and second down here. To get first downs, you keep relying on getting the third down. It's tough against a good defense, and Oklahoma's got some talented players out there.
Mosley in the first half, 7 carries, 26 yards. But he's had 3 very productive carries here in the second half. He goes out, and Whitaker comes into the backfield on 2nd and 5. Oklahoma brings 5. Screen set up too tall for Whitaker, and Zach Latimer was closing quickly. It'll be 3rd down.
Sean Bell saw this coming very, very quickly, got that ball out, but good job by the Oklahoma defense, putting pressure on the quarterback, then also in the resulting coverage, and that would have been a tough catch to make. Big 3rd down here for Baylor. They need to convert this. Got great field position after the punt. Defense did a great job, and they would like to capitalize on this field position, no doubt.
And for the first time in a while, here comes the great crowd at Owen Field. 84,000 strong. They throw it to Ziegler, and he can't come up with a circus catch. Pretty good coverage by Darian Williams.
Well, it would have been a circus catch, no doubt about it, because Dominique Ziegler turns all the way around. Sean Bell throws it to his outside, and Ziegler not able to make this catch. Look at the effort that he makes, though. Stops and starts, spins all the way around, and gets a hand on it, almost 2, but cannot make the grab. So Baylor decides to punt here. Got to play field position.
And the punt takes a good bounce from Oklahoma's perspective. Goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And Sepulveda mad at himself, the Ray Guy Award winner from last season, not getting that ball to go out of bounds before it goes into the end zone. Would like to have had Oklahoma pinned back.
A 42-yard punt, but just a net of 22 yards. Let's take a look at the BCS standings. Southern Cal on top, then the Longhorns. Virginia Tech won earlier in the week. Georgia, Alabama, LSU. Tech will drop after getting blown out today by Texas in Austin. Ball's loose on the ground. Oklahoma loses it. Baylor has it. Lane came up with a football.
Now Gutierrez comes through on the stretch play, and they actually tackle the football. They don't try to tackle Gutierrez, and the ball comes out. Looks like Baylor's going to get this fumble recovery, and they're going to get great field position once again for their offense.
Maurice Lane came up with the football.
Well, this is a stretch play down the line of scrimmage, and you see the offensive lineman getting on and Gutierrez coming in there. Watch the tackle they make. They tackle right on the ball. That was Foreman, I believe, pulling that ball out. Marcus Foreman, number 90. He tackled the football, pulled it out, and picked up by his Baylor teammates.
Baylor at the plus 30-yard line.
Oklahoma.
And the Sooners called timeout. .2:22 to go in the third quarter.
Taking a look at this fumble here, Gutierrez, and you see Foreman stripping that ball out. The ball's bouncing around. Ball definitely on the ground because Gutierrez does not have it. See the pile here.
Yeah, Lane came away with it. Some Oklahoma folks wondering if it was still loose. He came away with it, and his knee, he was in possession, his knee was on the ground. That's why the whistle blew.
Now, and some people
Good
are
job
thinking,
by the officials.
Yeah, why would Bob Stoops call a timeout? Well, we have replay in the Big 12, and maybe thinking that the replay officials would have a chance to take a look at this before Baylor actually got a snap underway. So sometimes coaches say, hey, let's take a shot at it here. We don't have those red flags like they have in the NFL to throw out there, so but they can throw a timeout away.
Yeah, Maurice Lane has been a terrific player throughout his career in Waco. And look at this, on the all-time tackle chart, nobody's going to catch the Hall of Famer Mike Singletary. But Maurice Lane, before he's all through, maybe second in terms of all-time tackles.
Yeah, he's been a big-time player for him and moving up the charts in every ball game that he plays. I saw those 600 numbers by Mike Singletary. I played a college career, started for 4 years at linebacker, made a lot of tackles, got just almost a 400. He got 600? Man was all over the field.
And he didn't stop once he got to Chicago.
No, continued there as well.
Thing you'll never forget about Mike Singletary, the eyes.
Definitely as a guy who played with a lot of passion, a lot of heart. And, you know, he brought that enthusiasm to his football team, and he demanded excellence from everybody around him. And I think he's getting the same kind of results in the football field now coaching in the NFL.
Play is confirmed as called on the field. It was a fumble and recovered by Baylor. First down.
Well, Bob Stoops got his wish. At least they took a look at it, and play was under review, and now Baylor's going to have great field position start at the 30-yard line of Oklahoma. That's an opportunistic play. Guy Morris would have to teach his football team. You got to make those kinds of plays. You come in here and get a turnover. Now you got a chance to put points on the board, put a touchdown up there, and go ahead in this football game. Down 5 points. Touchdown puts them on top.
Baylor came in even in turnover margin. Oklahoma came in -3. Blitz coming in the flat. A block, and Lane as he put it on the ground, Lane put it on, Payne put it on the ground also. Oklahoma football. Trey Payne put it on the ground, and the Sooners get it right back. Reggie Smith was involved.
Drew, I'll tell you one thing, all I saw was about 4 or 5 red shirts running towards the football. This is a quick screen pass. We have one blocker out there for him. And that's not enough because there's a lot of crimson jerseys going over there trying to get this football and get this ball carried to the ground. Take a look here on the outside. He catches it, cuts back inside, and then it's just pop right there. You get a lot of guys. You saw the ball come out on a round, and Reggie Smith actually picks that ball up there. Free safety. You see him avoiding the block, getting back in there on the action. Linebackers are coming in there, and the ball's on the ground, and Sooners have it going once again.
Patrick is in for Gutierrez. Here's a waggle. And Runnels made one man miss. He got 10 yards before Allred dropped him. Give him 11, in fact. Another first down for Oklahoma. Let's check in again with Jim Knox. Jim.
Drew, the Sooners are now down to their 5th tailback. Directly behind me, Jacob Gutierrez on the bench. They're working on his right hamstring. So Gutierrez right now out of the ball game. They're down to their 5th running back.
I want to know who's next.
I think Knoxie is. He showed pretty good footwork beginning of the ball game.
Well,
Maybe not.
Knoxie's healthy. I don't know if he's next, but he is healthy. Here's Patrick. That Oklahoma line moving people out.
yard.
4 yards on that pickup. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And you take a look at Rhett Bomar walking around out there. He's a little ginger on that right ankle as well. He doesn't have his normal giddy up.
Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Oklahoma trailed 6-0 early. They're ahead 24-19. Yeah, Rhett Bomar not moving around real well. Patrick carrying the football for a couple of yards, just shy of midfield. It'll be 3rd down and 2 with Gary Reasons and Jim Knox. I'm Drew Goodman. Late stages, quarter number 3 in Norman, Oklahoma. The 4-2 Baylor Bears trying to knock off the Oklahoma Sooners, who come in at 3-3 in front of 84,000 folks at Owen Field.
Just traded a couple of turnovers here, and now Oklahoma marching once again with a 3rd and short.
No Adrian Peterson tonight, no Kewan Jones, no Donta Hickson. They'll throw on 3rd and short. And having to throw it away out of bounds was Bomar, and now Oklahoma will have to punt, and he took another lick.
Well, punt, that's something that Bob Stoops has to decide on. It's a 4th and short. I think the smart thing to do in a close ball game like this is punt, play action pass, and then the pressure inside.
That's Andrews who finally got there.
I think that ankle's bothering Rhett Bomar. Doesn't look like he's moving around very well back there in the pocket. Not able to get away from this defensive unit. You can see how he's walking off the field. He's definitely favoring that right ankle.
And it wasn't completely healthy when the evening started. Freebie into punt. Willie Andrews back at his own 10. This is a great punt. Made even better by the good coverage at the 1-yard line. Down on special teams. That Jermaine Snell. A couple of 29s, or that's Poteet.
I think it's Poteet actually gets his ball, catches it, and puts it down right on the 1-yard line.
.50-yard, check it, 47-yard punt, and a net of 47. And good coverage by Poteet, downing it at the 1-yard line. So Baylor, well, now they're going to mark it at the 3. It's a little strange.
That's where he first touched the ball. So that's what happened in college football. When it first illegally touched is the spot of the ball.
And nothing doing on that first down carry.
Now Baylor started inside their 5-yard line on offense 3 times now. It's tough to get going from there.
Mosley, not much on first down. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. 3 chapters done in Norman. 24-19 Sooners. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on FSN. A whole lot of fun so far, and we have another 15 minutes left in regulation. 24-19 Oklahoma. 119 yards for the number 4 tailback, Jacob Gutierrez. Bomar's thrown for almost a couple of yards for the Sooners. Baylor's put it on the ground 4 times. And that is a drop. That ball has to be caught. Jordan Adams wide open, had it go right through his mitts. It'll be 3rd down. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com tonight and start saving. It's all about the O.
Yeah, kind of a risky play there out of your end zone, little bootleg, and should have had a completion to his tight end. Ball goes right through his hands, would have given some breathing room, but still here at the 4-yard line.
Now you may be forced to throw it from your own end zone. Oklahoma showing blitz off the edge. They'll run a draw, and Mosley tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Calvin Thibodeau got a piece of him.
Calvin Thibodeau's a guy who's done a lot for this Oklahoma defense. You don't hear a lot about him, but he comes up the field and steps underneath here. Thibodeau, number 58, is going to get enough of Paul Mosley to get him to the ground with a little help from Clint Ingram. Little blitz that time, and Baylor looked like they might have had the right play call with a draw inside, but good job by Thibodeau and Ingram to get Paul Mosley off of his feet. Now you take a look at Daniel Sepulveda at the very back of the end zone and doesn't want to step on that back line, and that's a safety.
Rankins around midfield. This is not a Ray Guy type effort by Sepulveda. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Baylor. A punt of 40. Oklahoma with outstanding field position when we come back to Norman. Back in Norman, still more football left for you tonight. Not only here with Oklahoma and Baylor, but later on, Washington State will be taking on number 23 Cal right here on FSN. Great field position right now for the Sooners from the 43 of Baylor. Two tight ends, Patrick on a delay. Boy, he gets stood up in the hole. Good looking hit by Julian Hill. He's played himself a nice football game. He's been involved in the running game. He has a sack. When Bomar has gone back to throw, he's had a couple of pressures. Nice day for number 93, the former walk-on, a junior from Katy, Texas.
Yeah, this Baylor defense is what's keeping them in football games and doing a good job up front. And although Oklahoma's had some success running the football and throwing the ball, Baylor has done a good job on occasion.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gutierrez back in there. And you know what? He's so close to the ground, you're never sure if a knee touched or not. I mean, the knee's only about 18 inches off the ground.
He just rolled right over, and Gutierrez says, hey, I didn't touch the ground. My leg didn't touch the ground. I'm going to keep going. You just see the defense come in there, and they grab him, and they spin him around. And is that Maurice Lane coming in there? Or is that Willie Andrews spinning in? And I think he did touch the ground. He just so quick to get up and get down. He's back in the ballgame. He was nursing that hamstring on the sideline. Jim Knox told us about that, but good to see him back out there for this football team. He's had a good night.
He has had a good night. Oklahoma goes nowhere on their first two plays. Now it's 3rd and 10. Bomar throws complete to Kelly. He needed 10, he got 10. Malcolm Kelly in front of James Todd. A little outcut.
Yeah, good timing by the quarterback and the receiver. Kelly just pushes it up the field, and then he squares to the outside. And Rhett Bomar, 1, 2, 3, fire the football. That's what he does, steps into it, and good job there by the big receiver.
Oklahoma 24-19. They get the first down, 33-yard line. Gutierrez, and he runs it up the middle for about 4 or so. Ran into Michael Gary. What a job by Jacob Gutierrez, just to revisit the story, and now maybe the hammy's bothering him. He kind of will hobble off the field, and Montez Murphy's going off. But to revisit the story, Adrian Peterson tried to give it a go today in warm-ups, could not. He has not played one play. Kewan Jones, veteran running back, suspended. Dante Hickson hurt his ankle in practice. So the only two guys left, Gutierrez and Patrick was a cornerback a few weeks ago. And here comes Patrick, first down to the 20-yard line. Colin Allred made the tackle and he lost his hat.
You know, I think the most impressive thing, I like the running backs and what they've done, but you know what, that offensive line for Oklahoma, which has been a question mark all year, has been able to pass protect and run block here in this football game against a pretty good defense, I think, that Baylor has. Now, Colin Allred, one of the better linebackers in the conference, having trouble there, just not giving up. They're getting 5-6 yards on a pop, inside running plays. That's a pretty good job there running the ball, but it all starts with their offensive line.
Patrick now a little beat up. So Gutierrez back in there. He gets the football. He comes back this way. Bomar gives him a block. Inside the 10 to the 4-yard line. Willie Andrews finally got him out. And Bomar Had a pretty good block.
Well, Rhett Bomar hands off to Gutierrez. He's going one way, coming to the near sideline, and then he decides to reverse. He says, okay, now, Mr. Bomar, you've got a block for me. Watch your quarterback try to get a hold of one, but he doesn't get it. That's a pretty good effort, not bad. Top of the screen, you got Malcolm Kelly, gets one guy on the ground, and Willie Andrews couldn't get blocked and makes the tackle eventually on Gutierrez out of bounds.
If Patrick's okay, he comes in for Gutierrez, who comes out, 1st and goal, inside the 5-yard line for Oklahoma. The Sooners ahead 24-19. Patrick to the 1. Inside the 1, in fact. And that Oklahoma offensive line, Gary, you've been bragging about, and they've had guys in and out of the lineup. They've had a lot of young players involved this year early on. Typically, you don't see that. But they're moving the football consistently against the 20th ranked defense in college football. I mean, Baylor, forget Baylor from years past. This is a pretty stout defense they brought to Norman.
They really have. They're a pretty good football team here, and Oklahoma has executed. They've got consistency, and that's what you're trying to develop with your offense.
And Joe John Finley, man, that's costly. He didn't get the snap count.
Foul. False start by number 85 of the offense. Penalty is 5 yards, and it's still 2nd down.
Did we do the jinx thing, Drew? Start bragging on him, and all of a sudden, whoop, pop one out of the stance.
My bad.
That's okay. Bob Stoops will forgive you on that.
That wasn't a soft clap. That was the heels of the hands coming together. There was some anger involved.
Yeah. Well, Joe John's been effective down here, no doubt about it. Got a couple of touchdowns on the year. And
Joe John had a problem few of us ever have. You know, most people trying to lose weight. Joe John's picked up about 25 pounds in the last year and a half. He came in about 218. He's up around 245 now. And he goes in motion. 2nd and goal. And Gutierrez eating up in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple of yards. Coming off the edge, Tyler Lindstrom.
And Jeff Nelson, one of the linebackers, defensive end coming up there. Good effort there by the Baylor defense. Getting into the backfield, making a negative play here.
Third and goal. Now you think about how costly that penalty potentially is. If Oklahoma does not score here, they got to bring the field goal unit out, and they had the ball 2nd and goal inside the 1-yard line. Bomar out of the gun, 3 receivers to the near side. Joe John Finley, one of the 3, and I don't know if he got it off.
They call timeout here on the near sideline.
Oklahoma, 2nd timeout.
So a timeout for Bob Stoops. 9:27 left, 4th quarter. 24-19 Sooners. Alex Brink, good quarterback in the long tradition of very good quarterbacks for the Cougars. 3rd and goal for Oklahoma. Gutierrez next to Bomar. They bring 6, end zone shot, and in and out of the hands of Malcolm Kelly.
James Todd on the coverage doing a good job of just being there at the spot. Looks like this ball was actually in the hands of the receiver. Rhett Bomar tosses it in there pretty well, but James Todd on the coverage.
And this is interesting now. You bring the field goal unit on. If it's good, it's an 8-point separation. Here's the play again, and you know what, Todd? Raked the arms.
He did. Just grab that left arm and put his hand in there where the ball is supposed to be between the hands and goes up, and I don't think that Malcolm Kelly ever had a chance to grab that football. Good play by James Todd.
You bet it was a good play. Garrett Hartley will attempt the field goal from 25 yards. And he's got it through. 27-19, but Baylor still within 1 score. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Usually a story in a game, usually a big factor in a game, turnovers. Baylor has put it on the ground 4 times. They've lost it 3 times.
That's a huge problem when you come in here and you're trying to win a football game in Norman. You can't make mistakes. I talked about self-destructing, and that's kind of what's happened here so far for Baylor. This one very, very critical with a chance in the Oklahoma side of the field, the last turnover, to put points on the board. So Guy Morris, eventually, if they wind up losing this football game, those are 3 certain plays that they can look back at and say, hey, if we had made these plays, at least we're not giving the ball back to them very easily. We can go out there and put our offense out there and punt the ball if necessary and create field position.
You make a great point, not to pile on the redshirt freshman Trey Payne. He hadn't touched the ball all evening. He puts it on the ground, and they had football at the Oklahoma 30 on first down. Down by 5. 20-yard line to start for Baylor after that kick goes through the end zone. Let's get a Dr. Pepper game break. Check in again with Mike Goldberg. Mike?
Drew, let's head to Boulder, Kansas at Colorado from one kick return to another. Let's just say all day it's all Joel Platt, 4 touchdowns. And then here, sophomore Stephon Robinson, 81 yards on the return for the score. Under 4 minutes remain. CU leads Kansas 44-13. Drew.
Yeah, Colorado bouncing back. They got beat up pretty good by Texas. I guess there's no shame in that, though.
Looks like they're going to take the lead in the Big 12 North race along with Missouri.
Missouri, an impressive win earlier today, 41-24 over Nebraska. They give the ball inside to Mosley. And I think he lost a yard. Rufus Alexander has him around the legs. Alexander, the junior backer from Baton Rouge.
I'm not sure what they're trying to do on that play. Just run it right in the middle of the Oklahoma defense with a little bait coming around behind the wide receiver, almost trying to look like a fake reverse. Didn't fool anybody.
Iowa State started using that play about 6-7 years ago, and since that time, I think everybody, not only college football, but a lot of NFL teams will employ that. Ziegler, and he'll have 6 or 7. Reggie Smith, the free safety, knocked him down.
Yeah, what you do with this kind of a play is you bring your wide receiver all the way in near to the formation, and then he uses the entire field for leverage on the defense. They look on the left side of your screen, you have your receivers come in, and then Ziegler just works outside. Long way for Reggie Smith to go from his free safety spot, who's got him in man coverage. Just doesn't have the leverage on him, and the offense, if the ball is thrown correctly, can win almost every time.
How about Reggie? When he first came to camp, true freshman, he was a cornerback. Then they moved him to strong, and now he's playing free.
They play it all back there. He's a good quality player, smart player, and we're very impressed with how well he's picked up everything in his defense.
Actually, he's back to strong. 3rd down throw, and Ziegler turned around. The look was to the inside shoulder, and the throw was to the outside shoulder. So Baylor will have to punt the football. Lewis Baker had the coverage on Ziegler.
Well, it's 3rd down and long here, or it's 3rd down and short, and you're running a pattern that's going to come right down here in length. The play is there, but Ziegler's looking all the way to the inside. He needs to go to the outside. At least that's where Sean Bell is looking for him to go, in kind of a on the sideline type of a pass.
Juwan Rankin's back deep. Sepulveda will hit it around his own 15. Fair catch executed at the 32-yard line. We'll step aside again. About halfway home in the 4th quarter. 27-19 Oklahoma. Oklahoma running the football with Jacob Gutierrez, and he does not get much, does not go down, but ends up in the loving arms of M.T. Robinson, a 300-plus pounder from Newport News, Virginia. Came a long way to play his college football. You like watching a lot of tape, and you've seen Baylor a couple times this year. M.T. Robinson, one of the better interior defensive linemen in this conference.
He is. He's a big body. He's got good technique up there. Uses his hands and uses leverage well.
Bomar goes play action. Now he'll throw it in the flat. Runnels breaks one tackle. Now he's weaving it back. He's got some blockers. This is the fullback, J.D. Runnels. How about that? J.D. Runnels making like Gale Sayers from one end of the field to the other. He took a negative play and made a big positive.
Talk about M.T. Robinson. He almost gets to the quarterback, and Brett Bomar getting up after making a nice block there. J.D. Runnels on the outside, reverses field, and Take a look at the bottom of your screen here, on the right side of your screen. Here's Rhett Bomar. Tosses the ball out here to Runnels, and Runnels comes all the way back over here to us. Now take a look at your quarterback here, number 7. Gets a pretty good block here. He's in the open field, and you got to do the cut block. Gets up a little lame off that, but good job there by the Sooners.
Gutierrez with the football. And he'll have 3 or 4 yards.
We'll take another look here at this play. Last play, the Red Bomar was out there. And look at the block here at the end. We've got a flag on this play. Trying to got a bear on the ground. It's Jamal Harper.
Do you know what? This may be a guess, but I haven't seen Paul Thompson as a wideout in a while. They may be keeping him on the sideline in case Bomar can't go. They got to have a healthy number 2.
Well, he started the second half. I saw him out there for a couple of plays, but he hasn't, as you said, hasn't been in the mix. They've used Malcolm Kelly.
On the defense, number 57. The penalty is 5 yards and replay first down.
Seen a lot of Juwan Rankins, Malcolm Kelly out there as receivers. And also Manuel Johnson. So those 3 have gotten the most of the playing time here for the wide receiver spot for the Sooners tonight.
Good situation offensively for Rhett Bomar. 1st and 5. Basically the 40-yard line of Baylor, ahead 27-19. Sooners trying to go to 4 and 3. Patrick gets about a yard. That's all. Tackled by Nick Moore. Back up inside backer. Sophomore from Arlington, Texas. Began his college football career at Georgia Tech. Take a look at our Best Buy trivia question. At halftime tonight, they honored the great 1955 and 56 Oklahoma football teams. The national champions, part of the 47-game win streak. How many shutouts did they pitch during that incredible streak? Second and 4. They run a twist up front. Patrick exploits it, and he'll run for a first down at the 34-yard line of Baylor. Boy, he can accelerate.
He really can. That's the thing I was noticing there, Drew, is that Alan Patrick, when he gets the ball in his hands and decides to go somewhere, he gets there in a hurry. That's what you like to see from a running back when he decides to get a hole, hit a hole, get there, and make sure that you can get there before those blockers let up.
How about the depth? I mean, honestly. Adrian Peterson, arguably the best back in college football, not available. Kewan Jones, you've seen what he's done throughout his career.
2,000-yard rusher.
Hickson's a good back. They're down to their 4th and 5th guy, and they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. They're darn good, and Bob Stoops has recruited well here to that position.
Gutierrez had a 100-yard ball game, and he gets collared after about a yard. You know, the game depth chart today, they listed him at 5'7". The media guide has him at 5'6". So he's probably, what, 5'5" and 3/4?
Somewhere right there.
Yeah, Best Buy. Trivia question again. How many shutouts in that 47-game streak? How about 20? Is that ridiculous? 23?
That's almost illegal. How do you do that?
That is ridiculous. 23 shutouts.
23 shutouts.
2nd and 9. Bomar. Gutierrez on a draw. Gutierrez, another first down. Nelson makes the tackle, but well down the football field, inside the 20. And right now, Oklahoma starting to sense that they can knock out Baylor.
Yeah, the crowd, a little bit of a goo going on out there. Good job on the pace here. You get your fullback. Runnels gets his guy on the ground. That linebacker Harper's not going to make the tackle. And he breaks tackle here as well. And Maurice Lane there, boy, he turns his ankle. He's not able to get there. And just no wheels. He's no wheels. He's no help to his football team. And can't run like can't run. You can't play out there. And I'm surprised he's keeping himself in the football game.
Well, I mean, he's playing literally on one leg. Gutierrez, he takes a pretty good shot from Moore with a little bit of help from Julian Hill.
Yeah, don't think these Oklahoma coaches don't see that too. If they leave him out there, you attack him in the passing game, he's going to do something there. But right now, the way the running game's going, I don't see Oklahoma stopping that either.
How about the numbers for Gutierrez? 153 yards rushing. Yeah, he probably was a guy that could walk around
campus in an anonymous fashion. That will all change Monday when he goes to class.
He'll have a little fun this week.
He will have a little fun. 2nd and 9 for Oklahoma. Clock winding inside 2:50. Gutierrez, a little make you miss. He puts it on the ground. And Baylor gets the football. Baylor football. Well, just as we were bragging on Jacob Gutierrez, he fumbled for the 2nd time, and Baylor has life. Julian Hill came up with the football.
Well, that's a huge play here. Now Baylor still has a chance in this football game. I think Gutierrez is a little tired. You know, he's had a lot of work. Probably wasn't expecting this workload, but good job of tackling the football by Baylor's defense. See Joseph with his block there. Good job there. There was a helmet came right in on the football. I didn't catch the player's number. And now a long field to go at the 17, 18-yard line here for Baylor.
Baylor does have all their timeouts. Bell with time will throw it in the flat, and it's just as well that it was dropped by Brandon Whitaker, as that play was going to lose yardage. Baylor Bears trying to get to 6 wins. If you're wondering, the win against Samford does count. One AA win, you can count one every couple of years. They have Tech next week. That'll be tough. They do get them in Waco. Texas, a load. You look at the last 2 at Missouri and home against Oklahoma State. Guy Morris trying to take the Bears somewhere they have not been since 1994. Ziegler in motion on 2nd and 10. 5 coming. And an overthrow. Ziegler did have a step on the safety, Lewis Baker. Unfortunately, that has not been Bell's forte, throwing the football down the field.
No, you'd like to be able to take a shot and hook up with your receivers to try to stretch the defense. Early in the ballgame, they had some rhythm where they were throwing the ball down the field a little more effectively, but nothing going right now. The defense right now for Oklahoma doing a good job of pressuring Sean Bell. The last few series he's been out there has not been very, very sharp.
Let's see if Oklahoma tries to heat up Bell again. 3rd and 10.
Timeout.
You know what? Baylor
First
calls a
timeout.
timeout, and in a perfect world, you didn't want to use one there, because if you don't get the first down, you could still punt the football, utilize your timeouts defensively, get a stop, and still get the football back. That's still obviously a possibility, but you'd like to have all 3 there if you're Guy Morris. And that's probably what you're reading on his face. 27-19 Oklahoma. Let's take a look now at our Kyocera wireless call of the game.
Running the football, passing it. Things kind of going their way. Now Baylor needs to answer here. They've got time to do so in this half.
Sean Rashad, he's got an opening up the gut. Rashad, he's on the sideline. I don't think anybody can catch him. Rashad to the end zone, no flags, touchdown Baylor. That's one way to... Baylor didn't have anything going on. You were talking about it, Gary. And then the Rashawn 98-yard officially kick return for a touchdown, and that got him right back in the ball game.
Got him back in the ball game and got a little confidence going. And now here's a chance on 3rd down to continue this drive. They need to make something happen here. I don't know if Guy Morris is thinking this is 2-down territory for a 1st down, or you need to get it all here on 3rd. You got to get those sticks moving, get you a fresh set of downs.
Ingram on the edge, comes on a blitz. It's picked up. Bell stays in. Shelton 1st down. Boy, that may have been Bell's best throw of the ball game. He stepped into it and he delivered it to Trent Shelton.
The key thing you talked about there was actually standing there in the pocket. He knows he's got pressure here. Clint Ingram, number 44, is rushing pretty hard from a linebacker spot and almost gets to the quarterback here. Take a look at the bottom of your screen. Number 44 going to come right into the kitchen of Sean Bell here with company. You got to push him on back there. You step up as a quarterback and get that ball. Sometimes you have to stand there longer than you like to. Sean Bell did a nice job there.
Bell steps up again. Ziegler has it. Minimal gain to the 34-yard line. 2:12, 2:11, 2:10. Clock moving. Coming up next on FSN, Washington State, Cal from Berkeley. And again, we'll bring you that game as soon as this game is finished. The Cougars with an early touchdown, leading in Berkeley 7-0. Bell down the middle. Trent Shelton, the junior, again to the 45-yard line. And the clock stops.
Yeah, the Sooners rushing forward that time, playing a zone defense, and you take Shelton, works around between the linebackers, and it's right in the vision lane of Sean Bell, throws it for a first down, change the movement, ball at the 45-yard line. Now plenty of time to go here.
Ingram comes on a blitz and through the hands of Mosley. And Thibodeau had dropped off in the flat, the zone dog, and he had good coverage.
This is another play that, is probably a good thing that Mosley doesn't catch his football, because he's going to be tackled inbounds and the clock's going to stop, and the clock is their enemy right now. Thibodeau continuing on out there from his defensive end spot.
Second and 10 for Baylor. Bell down the field into double coverage, and he overthrows Ziegler. They had him bracketed down the football field. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, trying to stretch the field, trying to get the ball down the field. And look at our powerful protector. Those can be doing a pretty good job there, just making sure nobody gets going. That's Dusty Dvorak. They're handling him pretty good right now.
Hey, we haven't called his name too much. 10 tackles for loss coming into the ball game for Dvorak. The best of any interior defensive lineman in college football. 3rd and 10. Baylor needs the 45 of Oklahoma. They drop 8 in coverage. And Ziegler out there, he's got it. Ziegler will score. Touchdown, Baylor, 55 yards. He got behind Lewis Baker. One of the few times tonight Bell has tried to throw the football down the field, and he hits the home run to Ziegler. Now they must go for 2 to tie it.
Well, they go with an empty backfield here, and they split it out, and they get a one-on-one coverage, which is what they want, and Ziegler gets right by Lewis Baker, middle of the field. Nice throw by Sean Bell. Good touch on that football, and he just runs it into the house. This is the most important play of the ball game, and believe it or not, this could make a difference whether or not one of these two teams gets bowl eligible this year, what the result of this play and possibly going to overtime.
Well, they've gone for 2 twice tonight and missed both times. The reason they had to do it early on, they missed an extra point after their first touchdown. Shelton to the near side, Ziegler to the top. And Bell looks at the defense, and he'll call a timeout. Good timeout. I mean, make sure.
Yeah, you got to get this right.
Make sure you got it right.
We'll take a look at the receivers here. You got the receivers coming down the middle. Gets right by Baker there. Looks like he played short. Looked in the backfield, saw the quarterback instead of playing in the middle of the field, and Ziegler gets the ball over the defense. Sean Bell throws the ball out there. Nice, easy throw for him. And I tell you, if you're a defensive coach here for Oklahoma, you're saying, how can we let somebody get behind us? It's almost an inexcusable play.
You know what, a couple of weeks ago, they did something they had never done, actually one other time for one ball game. So the second time, I should say, in the history of the Oklahoma program. But they had never done it with 2 safeties. They started 2 true freshmen, Reggie Smith and Harris. I mean, think about it. Quarterbacks in your secondary, your 2 safeties. And Baker's not a freshman, but he's a sophomore. He hasn't played a ton.
Yeah, it's using experience at the safety position, cornerbacks as well, so secondary has been a problem for the Oklahoma defense all year. People feel like you can't throw the football against Oklahoma's defense. Now was surprised they lined up in an I formation the last play out. Now it's spread the field here. You got 5 wide receivers spread out here for Sean Bell.
And another whistle.
I think we got another timeout being called here.
Bob Stoops burns his last timeout.
Final timeout.
You know, it kind of reminds me of those NBA games, chess match, last snap of the or last possession. Both teams calling timeouts to take a look at what the other team's designing. Here's the touchdown throw again.
Yeah, you see Lewis Baker just trying to make up some ground there, but he can't get to Dominic Ziegler.
Yeah, Oklahoma with 3 wins. Let's take a look at their schedule the final month of the regular season. They have Nebraska this year in Lincoln. That's not a picnic. Home against the Aggies, on the road in Lubbock to take on the Red Raiders. And then, of course, the intrastate battle with Oklahoma State.
They've got work to do. They like to get this one under their belt, no doubt about it, to possibly get them to 6 wins here a little sooner. None of these games are just a given anymore for Oklahoma. They've got some growing up to do defensively and offensively as well. And
they've made strides tonight.
Yeah, they have. They have really done some good things here offensively. I think there's some things that Bob Stoops is going to like. Coming down to a ball game like this, though, giving up a late touchdown, that's got to sting a little bit, though.
Well, think about it. About 5 minutes ago, real time, they were driving to put this game away, and Gutierrez had the ball stripped.
And spread the field again here. We got one back in the backfield now. That's Whitaker.
And now Whitaker departs. Bell has an opening to the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. And we are all tied up at 27-27 with 1:17 to go.
This thing just parted like the Red Sea. You got everybody spread out and trying to take care of coverage. And Sean Bell, he sees the opening between the guards and he just runs straight ahead. Take a look here. You're going to see the red shirts. Calvin Thibodeau goes outside. Dusty Dvorak goes out. The only guy's in his way is his umpire. He stretches out, and does his knee hit the ground before he gets over?
You know what? He didn't need to do that either, and it was almost too close for comfort.
Let's take a look here at the sideline here. See at the angle here. He's well over the end zone. He's over the goal line before his knee hits the ground.
Look at the reaction. Guy Morris on the sideline. I mean, he summed it up best. It has been a long, long time since Baylor in late October was playing a meaningful football game.
You know what he has gained here? He has gained respect. You know, for this football program, I tell you, Guy Morris has really brought in a nice program. As we take another look here at Sean Bell getting these last 2 points here for his football team. I'll take a slow look at it here, and Clint Ingram is right in our way. We cannot see. See, his knee is probably down. The ball is right there. I don't know if that's conclusive enough to, if it were to be overturned or at least even challenged.
I would agree with you, but I guarantee you when they look at film or tape, to use a proper term, they will tell Sean Bell, you know what?
Didn't need to do that.
You didn't need to do that.
That's exactly right.
Stay on your feet. Make sure you cross the goal line. Now Oklahoma is going to still have plenty of time. 1:17 to work with, and this is a returnable kick. Reggie Smith from the 3. Smith trying to get to the wide side of the field, and he's dropped at the 28. So Oklahoma, no timeouts, but they have 1:08. And again, in college football, 1:08 can be a whole lot of time.
And now they've used some timeouts, though, so Bob Stoops does not have the timeouts that he would like to have in this situation.
Garrett Hartley, the kicker for Oklahoma. As you see, it's 7-7 now. The ball game will be taken to U2 as soon as this one is concluded. Garrett Hartley, the field goal kicker, the sophomore, has a 52-yarder this year. That came against Texas. So Bob Stoops has a weapon. There's Hartley.
And no timeouts left here for this Oklahoma football team. So at 1:08, that's not a whole lot of time. They've got to throw things on the sideline.
But you do get the bonus in college football on first downs. The clock stops to reset the football. Bomar has a screen set up.
Gutierrez breaks a tackle and will get out of bounds. That's the good news. That's all in the good news, though, because it's a gain of just 3. Willie Andrews rode him out.
3 or 4 yards on that gain, and looks like that the Baylor defense is playing a quarter-style defense. 2 safeties down the hash and a couple of cornerbacks, both deep, so almost a 4-deep type zone, not trying to let them have the big play, and they'll tackle anything in front of them. You see the defense here, just perimeter defense here, going to get back and deep. Don't get anything behind you.
They go on the ground, surprisingly, to Gutierrez. He'll have the first down to the 45-yard line. And they stop the clock, 55 seconds. That's what I'm talking about. That's a whole lot of time because you really only need about another 20 yards for a legitimate shot for Hartley.
Is Brett Bomar going to stop the clock here? Is he going to run a play? Is he going to spike the football? Looks like they're lining up for a play.
And it's complete. Kelly's taken down inbounds.
That's a good tackle on the outside. That's James Todd.
He's got to get up. That's what Andrews trying to do, get him off the field. Well, they got to get a DB in there. Boy, Baylor's confused. They had 10 men on the field for a moment. Now they've got 11. Bomar looks right, and he throws complete. First down, out of bounds at the 44-yard line. It's Kelly. With 19 seconds left. Once again, the 2-point conversion that tied it up will be somewhat controversial. Did the knee hit before Bell crossed the goal line with the football?
You see the stripes, the jersey there. That's the line judge there right on the goal line. He probably had the best look of it overall. Couldn't really review that play because Clint Ingram was right in the way of our camera angle.
You probably can get 2 snaps here if you get out of bounds. We'll see, though. Otherwise, you got to run up and...
That should be a penalty. That's 12 men on the field, illegal participation against Oklahoma.
That is huge because right now, if they didn't gain another yard, Gary, they were looking at a field goal. Well, it's still a little lengthy. You're
Close
still
to
talking,
60 yards.
Still 60 yards. And now it's pushed back, obviously out of range.
Illegal substitution on number 9. The huddle broke with 12. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Now this is Joaquin Iglesias.
Kind of hard to miss, running him off the field here, so.
I was going to say that was an interesting set. They had 4 receivers to the left, 1 right, and a guy in the backfield.
You hadn't seen that one before, had you, Drew?
Wow, it's tough to defend. They'll move the launch point. Bomar now throwing, and there's a catch made in bounds. Out of bounds. I guarantee you they'll take a look at that one. Kelly with a great grab, ruled out of bounds at the 24-yard line. They say no catch with 12 seconds left.
Kind of a circus catch here if he makes and gets his foot in bounds. Watch on the sideline here as Kelly goes up. He's made another catch like this before tonight.
Boy,
in college football, you have to have 1 foot in bounds, and
it's a toe on the line.
It's hard to tell from that angle. The ball goes up, and
you get a better look here.
Yeah, his toe is on the line. That's a good call by the official. Looks like his right toe is right there on the sideline, and that's what we're looking at. And
right now, Kelly wishes instead of size 13s, he wore size 11s.
Well, they're getting buzzed on the field, the officials are, which means this play is going to be under review. Yeah, we'll take a look. There he's on the sideline there. He's out of bounds with the ball in his hand, so that's what they're looking at. That's probably the best angle that we have of it, I think.
You know what? It's so close that, again, it was called incomplete. You can't overturn it.
Yeah, the thing is it has to be indisputable evidence for it to be overturned. Otherwise, they're going to go with the play that what is called on the field.
You know, it's interesting. What if it was called the other way? Because they would review it either way. If it was called good, do you think that's indisputable that his toe's on the line?
I think it's probably more of a chance that they would call that play out of bounds and refuse that play than they would to let it go.
Obviously a moot point. It was ruled
incomplete because he was out of bounds, and it was as close as you can be.
Yeah, but look at how far Guy Morris has come with his program. Here you are in Norman, Oklahoma, 27-27. What happened last year, Drew, in this football game?
35-0, final week of the season, and it wasn't that close.
Wasn't even that close. Now, this is a year's difference in time, and Bob Stoops has had some changes here, but I tell you, that's just how high Guy Morris has come with that football team in Baylor, and there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of reason that they're doing well. They've recruited well, and their players, have continued to excel, and they've gotten older. Take one more look at this play here on the sideline, and I'll tell you, that's a heck of an effort by Malcolm Kelly, and I think he's definitely on the line. It's a pretty good call by the line judge there on the sideline. Now the replay officials have all of our camera looks that we're looking at right now to review, and they can jog back and forth. They have a way to capture every frame in there, and they can take it forward, backward. They can do whatever they want with it. They have complete control of it. They can even ask our television truck downstairs if they want a different angle or something else to review. And we've given them all they have, and they're asking us right now, to be honest with you, our producer is telling us that they're asking for whatever angles you have of that sideline.
Called on the field. Incomplete.
Now 12 seconds left.
What?
If you're Rhett Bomar and Bob Stoops, you need about 10 yards. We'll look at it one more time, but it's pretty clear that...
Well, phenomenal catch by Malcolm Kelly, first of all. The ball's up high. Look at how high he goes up for that ball, and then he's right on the sideline. Tremendous effort by that young man, ruled out of bounds.
They do not have timeouts. This ball down the middle of the field. I think they're trying to hook and ladder. It's incomplete. Gutierrez was trailing Juwan Rankins. 6 seconds left. It is conceivable, though unlikely, to try to get something quickly to the sideline. And
even if they
do it 4 or 5 seconds, and and then try a monster field goal.
Yeah, because the only thing they were going to get is if they could get 6 or 7 yards to get out of bounds to stop the clock, and then you'd still have a 60-plus yard field goal, and I don't know if that's even realistic. Little confusion now, Oklahoma offensively.
A little confusion with Baylor. Nobody on the widest man. Well, they're going to go for the home run. And it's intercepted by Arline in the end zone. We will go to overtime. Anthony Arline made the pick.
Talking this week about this ball game, just to the casual fan here in Oklahoma or in Texas, you'd think, okay, you're playing Oklahoma, Baylor. What's the game going to be like? And everybody that you talk to said, hey, that might be a pretty good ball game, because they realize the status of the Oklahoma program. They realize the ascension of Baylor and what they've got going on, and this is exactly what a team would like to have. Good contest here. They've got our overtime rules here. It all starts with a coin toss, and each team's going to get a possession, and they'll start at the 25-yard line, and they'll play on one end of the field. It's not going to be like they'll go all over the place here.
Without question, the most important element in overtime, we've seen it now for a number of years, is the coin toss, because you want to go second offensively. I mean, you want to know what you have to do offensively. You want to go on defense first, and that's what we'll find out here in a moment.
Yeah, because you think that at the 25-yard line, at least, if you don't get any yardage, anything whatsoever, you're going to have an opportunity for a field goal offensively. And if you're the defensive team, you're thinking, okay, if we can stop them on downs or not allow them to score a touchdown, then our offense could go back out there if they kick the field goal and know that, okay, we're going to kick a field goal, or at least we'll take shots at the end zone to get the win. So look at the overtime that season for these teams.
Baylor remembers all too well the last time they were in overtime against the Texas Aggies, and it did not turn out well for them. It's a game they thought they should have won in regulation. Mentioned it earlier, Guy Moore is still hopping mad about that loss, but they're in overtime again against Oklahoma.
A couple of plays in this ball game here that we've looked at.
Here's the 2-point conversion.
Sean Bell going to put 2 points on the board here. Down 2 points now after the late touchdown, and
he did this on his
the
own.
End zone. Yeah,
this was not a designed quarterback draw, spread him out, and he dove, seeing it was wide open, and as you can see, I mean, Oklahoma Sooners were converging, but he didn't even dive there.
Yeah. Well, they didn't do anything to stop him, so I think it's the result of the play is actually fine.
Listen up, guys. We're going to toss the coin. The winner of the toss can choose offense or defense, or choose which end of the field we're going to play. The loser of the toss will take the option that the winner doesn't take. We go to multiple overtimes. Every odd number overtime, the winner of the toss will get first option. The loser of toss will get first option in every even numbered overtime. You'll get one timeout per overtime period. You'll keep the ball until you either score or lose possession. If you lose possession and Team B fumbles and you regain possession, you do not get to keep the ball. You get one timeout per period. Did I tell you that? And they do not carry over. Mm-hmm. Any questions? Nope. All right. You're going to call? Yeah. Same thing. That's a head. That's a tail. Which one do you want? I'll do the head. Heads has been called. Heads has been called. Heads was called. Heads was called. And it's tail. Yes, sir. Do you want it? Let's go. We want defense first. Right. He wants defense. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Turn your back to that goal.
Oklahoma wins the toss. J.D. Runnels can hardly contain himself.
Will defend that goal.
OT next. One of the great venues in college football, 84,000 at Owen Field. And through 60 minutes, nothing decided. Guy Morris of Baylor on the right, Bob Stoops on the left. And Baylor will start with it in overtime. 25-yard line, and they'll send 3 receivers to the near side. Whitaker remains in the backfield. Backside screen. And Whitaker couldn't find the football because he ran into Glenn Oskin.
Yeah, you run into your center and you're trying to get out of the way to make that screen pass happen. Sean Bell play action here and tries to throw it back door here to his tailback. Kind of an unbalanced formation here. The only one over there that can catch his football is your tailback, Whitaker. You see Oskin there right in his way, but I think Calvin Thibodeau had that sniffed out as well.
2nd and 10. Bell, 5-step drop towards Ziegler.
Caught it.
He did catch it. What a grab by Ziegler. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Is it just me, or is it 3 or 4 times tonight that we've seen Dominique Ziegler catch his ball? He's had to be turned around, or he's not really like he's knowing where the football is, but he makes great adjustments on the football and winds up catching it. That's a heck of a football catch right there by Dominique Ziegler, and brings his football team now inside the 10-yard line down to the 7-yard line here against the Sooners.
How about Ziegler? 9 catches, $141 tonight. They said they had to get it to their playmakers. Ziegler, one of their playmakers, he showed up big time tonight. 1st and goal from the 7. Whitaker trying to get to the edge. Hard to do that against the Sooner defense. They run so well. Wolf bounced him out with Caillou. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 5.
Good play call here. Haven't ran this all night. Play action here, a little fake and pitch it back to Whitaker with the speed. Try to win the corner, but good pursuit by the Sooner defense. That's big if you can score a touchdown here in overtime. You can go up first, and Guy Morris can put his defense back out there and try to hold that Sooner offense in check.
Cal leading now 14-10. We'll go to that ball game when this one is done. Bell looking backside. Now he looks to run. Bell knocked out at the 2. DJ Wolf knocked him out. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get in. Ran all the way around to the sideline there and looked like he had a chance to get in the end zone. Didn't cut it up. Had some linebackers coming his way. Maybe that might have influenced his decision to go to the sideline. Looks like he's trying to go to that pylon of the corner. That's DJ Wolf knocking him out of bounds. Third down here.
Yeah, last time in a similar situation on a two-point conversion, they spread them out.
We're going to have
They got to call a timeout, otherwise they're going to have a penalty.
Timeout. Baylor, final timeout.
Well, we had a player come on the field for Baylor into the huddle, and if he had left the huddle, had left the field after they break the huddle, that's an illegal participation, would have lost 5 yards. Those are 5 critical yards in this situation down the 2-yard line. So good job of Sean Bell calling that timeout.
Well, partner, we've been here for 4 hours, nothing decided. How about this ball game?
It's been a good ball game. It's been all we've expected. We thought it'd be a close ball game. We thought teams that didn't make mistakes would have a chance to win this game. Now, Baylor, they did make some mistakes, but they certainly made up for some of those mistakes with some aggressive play. Oklahoma's offense really had a berth tonight, both in the running game and the passing game, a more complete game. And defensively, there have been both Baylor and OU have done well defensively, so it's been a good football game. Now it comes down to the most critical time here. What's going to happen in overtime? Here with third down, what do you do? I think we might be seeing Baylor spread the field once again, just like Sean Bell did on that last two-point play. Spread it out and throw something to a wide receiver, or perhaps run it up in the middle himself. And they've got Whitaker in the backfield. And 4 receivers as well.
Kyle Baker, the widest to the near side. And now they go completely empty. Bell gets flushed. And it's incomplete.
Wow, decision time now for Guy Morris. You're down here on the 2-yard line. What do you do? I don't think there's any hesitation. You need to put your field goal kicker out there and put points on the board. Not going to even try to flirt with possibility of getting a touchdown here in this situation. Good job by the Oklahoma defense of responding in this situation. Take a look at Ryan Havens coming on the field. Sean Bell, a gamey quarterback here, trying to get out of the pocket, getting pressured there. That's Latimer trying to get him. And
tell you what, pretty good throw. Would have been a great catch by Shelton, but it was catchable. And this is an extra point, but from the hash mark for Havens. Baylor goes on top 30-27. And what an advantage now for Oklahoma, because they realize with a touchdown they win it.
Oh, it's that coin toss in overtime. That's the thing you talked about earlier, Drew, that if you win it, you want to go on defense. And Bob Stoops put his troops out there, and they held check. They didn't allow Baylor to score a touchdown. It was close. Got down to the 2-yard line. Now Rhett Bomar has a chance to go out there with his offense, and if they can execute and put a touchdown on the board, his Sooner football team's going to win his ball game.
Rhett Bomar continues to grow as a quarterback. 248 yards in the air. Well, last year, maybe the best win in a number of years for Baylor, and it happened against the Aggies in overtime.
Setting up to go for 2 after scoring on their first possession in overtime. John Bell in the shotgun. Here's the ball game. 34-33, A&M in overtime.
Down the middle of the field, and Bomar overthrows Manuel Johnson. They say, you know what, we're going to try to win it right here. They tried to get a skinny post into Johnson, but he had bracketed coverage. Let's go back.
Bears going for 2.
That is a great moment in Baylor history.
Left, 2 right. Sean Bell has the snap. Looking.
But they got a little carried away. The radio.
Was that John
crew,
Morris?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, the radio crew from Baylor wasn't a touchdown, it was a 2-point conversion. But that has started Baylor on the right track again. And what would a win here mean to this program? Gutierrez gets a few. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Oklahoma.
Hey, I'm going to venture to say that Gutierrez, he's going to be a little sore tomorrow.
Oh,
early in today, they started warming up, and we saw a coach walk over to him and talk to him and say, Gutierrez, I think you're going to play a lot tonight. And I could imagine just what's going through his mind and what actually happened. Tremendous night for him the other night.
How about 27 carries, and he also has caught a couple of balls. Now, this is a big 3rd down right now.
because the field goal, if they don't gain another yards,
be a little challenge.
40-yarder. That's not a gimme. They need the 15-yard line, 3rd and 7. Baylor brings 4. Bomar with a flag down. It's out of bounds.
Well, here's the decision now Guy Morris has to make. Do you accept this holding penalty, which is probably what it's going to be in the backfield, and kick in and move Oklahoma back and give them another opportunity, to throw this football, or do you force them to kick this football right now? That's the decision that Guy Morris is making right now. Take them back, or do we make them kick it right here?
I'll tell you what, that is a tough decision. What would you do?
In this situation, I'd take them back because I think our defense is playing pretty good, and I'd make them think, hey, you're going to have to win on 3rd down here and get good field position to kick that field goal anyway. So either way, I think it'd be better to bring them back.
Number 77 of the offense. The penalties decline. Wow. It's 4th down.
He's going to put the pressure on Garrett Hartley.
Well, this is a 40-yard field goal from the middle of the field here for Garrett Hartley. Take a look at the pressure that Baylor puts on. You got your 3-down linemen here and 1 linebacker stepping up, and Rhett Bomar rolling out of the pocket. The backside, that's actually the hold you see there on the backside. That's on Murphy. Trying to hold Montez Murphy out of the way.
That's on Joseph. So a 40-yarder for Hartley.
Now this is to tie the game to go to overtime once again, or this is a chance for Baylor to win this football game.
And Cooper Castleberry has come in. I don't know why they're stopping play. Guy Morris doesn't know why.
If they call timeout.
Well, Baylor doesn't have any timeouts.
Well, that's what they're talking about. If they thought they called timeout, that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is right down the middle. We'll go to a 2nd overtime. So the gamble by Guy Morris, putting the pressure on Garrett Hartley, and the sophomore from Southlake, Texas, answered.
Well, I think the gamble would have been actually to take the penalty and make him go further back. It would have been a 50-yard field goal if Baylor would have been able to hold on 3rd down. Either way, you know, you're going to have to do something in this ball game to win a game, and Guy Morris chose at that point not to take that penalty with his football team. And
I'll tell you what, on both sides,
those are tough calls to make.
They are. On both sides tonight, a lot of guys have grown up. Guy Morris said, we need more experience in big games. They're certainly getting bonus experience tonight in Norman. Again, the game to follow, Cal and Washington State, 14-10 as they move to the 2nd quarter there. Both teams growing up, and you have some youngsters for Oklahoma. I mean, make no mistake, Oklahoma is not down. They're in a little bit of transition. So many young players playing. And Bomar's made strides tonight. You found out about depth at running back.
Yeah. I think I saw Bob Shakespeare talking to the official, wanting to find out what did Baylor actually attempt to try a call a timeout there. Wondering if they had, why a penalty flag was not thrown.
Oklahoma will go right back on offense here in the 2nd overtime.
Well, they should be a little quicker at this because they've done this before.
I mean, Cooper Castleberry, I thought, was reading a James
Baylor has
Mitchell novel
chosen defense. Will play at that goal.
Oh, we're going to go the other end here, and Baylor's going to be on defense first now. So Guy Morris's team won the toss that time. So now they're going to make the Oklahoma offense perform and hopefully hold them to a field goal attempt.
And if you're wondering why they're going to that end of the field, Oklahoma makes that decision because the north end zone is a little bit louder. There's no open areas. That's the only thing I can assume by that decision. And when Baylor has the football, it may be a little more difficult for them to get things snapped with the crowd noise.
Well, and also this other end zone is where Sean Bell had some success down there, and they're remembering that. Let's take it to the other end zone where we had some success and a little bit of gamesmanship here.
Tell you what, this was an 8-point ball game late. Oklahoma was driving. Baylor got a fumble and then drove the football the length of the field and hit a long pass to Ziegler, Dominique Ziegler, to get in the end zone, and then they got the 2-point conversion. And Sean Bell scrambled into the end zone. The change of the timeouts. They had put another timeout up for Baylor.
Now we've got the referee walking on the sideline here behind the bench, actually.
He's going to need a pretty good throat lozenge at the end of the night.
He's been pretty active. Yeah, Gutierrez back there in the backfield. Malcolm Kelly, the receiver.
So here we go, Sooners with the football again in the second overtime, tied at 30. On the ground, Gutierrez cuts it back. There's Bomar trying to lead the way. 5 yards on first down, tracked down from behind by Marcus Foreman. He's played a good ball game.
Oh, we've seen that same type of play twice now. I really don't think it's a designed play to have your quarterback, you know, in reverse field to bring your quarterback around for a seal block, but Gutierrez is doing this here twice now. He's coming across. Now watch your quarterback. Rhett Bomar goes around. He says, no, I'm going to follow you, Rhett. Remember last time Rhett blocked out there, he didn't like the result. Oh, he's not going to like that result either. He's getting piled on.
Two tights, Johnson to the right. Here's a delay to Gutierrez, and he's going to lose a yard. Andrews will make the tackle. Initial penetration by Jeff Nelson.
Yeah, Willie Andrews.
Jamal Harper was there, but Jeff Nelson made the play.
I tell you, this Bear defense can be tough. It really can. They can stop the run inside. When they really concentrate, they can make a pretty good effort in there. One of the better defenses in the country coming into this ball game.
And they've played much better in the second half. The first half, they gave up basically 300 yards in total offense. Now we're in the second overtime. It's 454 total offense for Oklahoma.
Yeah, now if you're Baylor, this is the down you want to win on. Win on third down here. Force Oklahoma. Oklahoma's calling a timeout here. Force Oklahoma now to be in a fourth down situation where they have to kick a long field goal. That's what you like to do on your first possession out there on defense. And as we talked about, then your offense goes out there knowing what they have to accomplish.
Hey, how about this Big 12 South? I mean, it used to be, with all due respect to Baylor, the one school that was pretty much a lightweight in the South was Baylor. That's a thing of the past. And let's show you again how Baylor tied up this football game in regulation late. Sean Bell found Dominique Ziegler on a post behind the secondary of Oklahoma, 55-yard touchdown. And then the two-point conversion, they needed it to tie. Nobody open, Bell dives in.
Now a couple of plays there for Guy Morrison. Those are things that they'll look at and they'll say, hey, we went to Norman, we needed to make a play, we made a play. That's something you can build on, win or lose in this football game tonight, but they've certainly got an opportunity here to win this game. Third down and long now for Oklahoma to continue this drive to possibly get a touchdown. I would imagine on fourth down, there's no hesitation on either team in overtime. You need to put points on the board and rely on your defense at times. You need to put a field goal up, put points up there and kick a field goal.
Baylor runs Dwayne Crawford on the field late. Third down and 6. Baylor brings pressure. Bomar hangs in, he's got a man open, touchdown.
Iglesias.
Yeah, Joaquin Iglesias, his first catch of the ball game, 21-yard touchdown for Oklahoma.
There's a penalty flag at the 30-yard line, Drew.
Yeah, the players moved, and all of a sudden you see the yellow handkerchief.
Passer on the defense, number 57. Penalties decline, touchdown.
What a throw by Rhett Bomar in this situation. You got Joaquin Iglesias in the slot. He just runs away from the Baylor defense. Good step, good throw. Nice touch on this football. Gets over Wilson there at the top. That's what you want from your quarterback in a situation like this, to throw a ball that you can win a football game. Now Oklahoma puts a touchdown up here in overtime.
How about that? Just the 4th aerial touchdown of the season in game number 7 for Oklahoma. And it puts the Sooners up 36-30.
Did he say that was going to be enforced after? If that's enforced against Baylor after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of roughing the passer, and maybe enforced after the PAT, that would be huge. I heard the Oklahoma crowd roar, and that was the official talking to the crowd, and boy, they'd be very pleased about that. That means they'd be starting at the 40-yard line instead of the 25.
The extra point is good, 37-30 OU.
Well, C.J. Wilson is in coverage here on Joaquin Iglesias in the slot, and Joaquin just runs away from him here, goes up the hash and outside. Good ball thrown by Rhett Bomar. Nobody in the back of the end zone to help on that situation. Man coverage and bring a little pressure in the face of Rhett Bomar. Good job by the offensive line on protection. Nice grab by Joaquin.
And this penalty, you're right, is huge. That is exactly what Cooper Castleberry said. The 15-yard walk-off puts the ball at the 40-yard line. So now you're talking about a legitimate, semi-drive here.
Yeah, it's the same thing in regulation play. If you have a penalty on a score that would be enforced on the kickoff or the ensuing kick, it will be enforced here. So
first and 10 from the 40. Makes it a little more difficult for Baylor. They must score a touchdown.
Yeah, this is where home field advantage is huge in a situation like this. Not easy for the Bears to operate and communicate.
Yep, going to the noisy end. They'll run the reverse. Rashawn. This is pretty well defended. Rashawn holding the ball loosely. Ends up getting 5.
Well, he got 5 or 6, but I thought it was played very well by the Oklahoma defense. Sean Rashawn, with just his speed and elusiveness, is able to make 5 or 6 yards out of this. Now it's a bag of tricks now. What do you got, Brent Teese, the offensive coordinator for Baylor? Or do you just, put it in the hands of your players and let them execute?
Again, you don't have to hit the home run. There's no clock.
No, there's no clock.
Just
You're not worried about clock.
Try to pick up first downs. 2nd and 5. Blitz coming. Bell hangs in. And he throws it over the head of Rashawn. I don't know if he ever saw that football.
I think for some reason, Sean Rashawn slowed that route down, whether defensive back jumped in front of him or whatever, but he stopped on the route. And I don't think that Sean Bell realized that he was going to shut that route down. This has been a year of years for Bob Stoops and his coaching staff. This is a whole different team, and they have really had to work a lot harder, I think, with this group of players than they have had in the past. They've had talented players here, but I tell you, to really test your coaching ability and test, what you're made of when you put in these tight ball games.
Well, he loves his freshman class. He says it's the best class yet. 3rd down. End zone shot, and it's over the head of Shelton.
Well, are you making mistakes here trying to throw the ball down the field? You got plenty of time. You're not worried about time. Make manageable passes here.
I don't understand it because that has not been their MO, not only coming into the game, but that's not how they've operated throughout this ball game. They've thrown the intermediate balls.
Yeah, this ball is not close enough here for Trent Shelton to get to, and good coverage in the secondary on you get you there. Now it's 4th down and 4.5, almost 5 yards here. I think you got to take Sean Bell, move him out of the pocket, let him find somebody out in the open area here.
Oklahoma has been consistently bringing pressure. They show blitz. They come with 6. And a high throw. Oklahoma will win it. Oklahoma hangs on and wins in 2 overtimes, 37-30. The man was open. Sean Bell's throw was high.
Well, I have to think back to the decision that Guy Morris decided not to take that penalty when he had a chance to take the Oklahoma field goal kicker back for a longer field goal kick. But nonetheless, I think it was a good ball game by both teams in this ball game, Drew. Saw a lot of things from Oklahoma that woke up their offense, and defensively, some good things as well. And it's a big win, I think, for Oklahoma because they're moving closer towards that six victory goal they have for getting a bowl game.
Growth on both sides. You hate to call it a moral victory for Baylor, but you can see the Bears are on the right track with Guy Morris. Coming up next, Pac-10 action. Washington State, 23, Cal, number 23 Cal. For Gary Reasons, Jim Knox and our entire crew, Drew Goodman saying so long from Norman. Oklahoma wins it.